Testing, testing. Everybody. Testing. Hello? Okay. Hey, Abby. I've never seen this. There's nobody on YouTube. Oh, there we go. Hey, Moon Johnny. Much appreciated. I think we're just. Although I guess we might do a tab clean out. Um, Tupperware all the way on the top shelf of right. There's a Tupperware lid. Did like a bot apocalypse on Twitch. Botters. Well, Twitch is usually like 3 people, but YouTube normally would have more than that. But either way, Johnny's here. He'll be from Johnny. Okay. Trump says he wants to get into heaven. We don't need this. Ironically, this meme might come up later. Oh, I don't remember. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Cam. Waited all day to clean my room so my girlfriend can come over tomorrow. Wait. The structure of your sentence, I'm not sure. Did you wait all day so that your girlfriend can come over tomorrow? Or is it that you clean your room so that your girlfriend can come over tomorrow, but you waited all day? Thank you for the gifted sub. Well, it's more because I'm late, I think. I waited all day to listen. Okay, got it. All right, I got it, Cam. Hey, Argent. Hey, Marshmallow. Well, so and your squinting is bothering me. Do you need glasses? Sorry, it's just I'm looking at a 600-page bill. Stop looking. MAGA send their best today. We'll see. Oh, what's interesting? Lately, we've been getting a few non-MAGA Nazis, so that's something. House approved. Hey, Max. I did not know that was a thing. Wait, didn't know that was a thing. Just for the tap cleaning. About to fly to San Fran. Are you doing a 24-hour or what? I don't think I am. Very unlikely. So many tabs. The Bible verse. 14th Amendment. Omar Abrego Garcia. I think it's just my left eye is tired. My left eye wants to go to bed. He said, Kylie. Oh. Oh my god. All the memes are still here. Hey, James. That was some debate. Well, I guess we don't need these. Ange. Okay. I actually pulled this up, but never brought it up in the debate. Wasn't there like some piece of legislation or something that Biden did, or at least like some move that Biden made to like release nonviolent MJ offenders? Am I remembering that wrong, or am I like Mandela affecting myself? Biden. Yeah, there was definitely somebody that was saying that something of the opposite effect of this. Okay. Cool. I remember that was like the peak of Dark Brandon. Did that. They're trying to find what the fuck the Senate and House were doing. Recommend a recriminalization on all non-sales related charges. Decriminalization. Okay. Mobile, we don't need that. Yeah, we don't need that. No one needs. I'll be right back. Where are we? So don't work anymore. Maybe my eyes don't work anymore. I think my left eye is just cooked. Big rift goal for Nua. What's even the benefit of seeing better? And then I just That guy. Ooh. Gonna get called out for those liberal tears. Got a cow and a donkey today. Awesome. I've never met a donkey. You're an executive order to ban allergies. Measure decline nations mid low confidence article. No confidence, confidence. Measure people who have. Israel's pretty fucking confident in him. Also Nigeria. And look at Mexico. 91% no confidence. Wild. Also interesting because Turkey, I think, wasn't Turkey one of the ones that was more confident in Trump than Biden? Or am I remembering wrong? I've never exited out of this one. A child who lost their lives in Uvalde. Amazing man,
Yeah.
fighting the good fight every day. I didn't even realize this was open. Okay. Okay. All right. I think we're ready. Maybe I should wear an eye patch for this. Okay. I think we're good to go. And debate them in pirate talk the whole show. Yar, Trump be destroying everything. Going live right now. Here we go. Fuck. Hey everyone. And welcome in, welcome in. Or be making people hook the plank without due process. Y'all, we're gonna be starting very shortly. Thank you for the heart me's, thank you for the roses. Actually, early in the live we usually do a smaller goal. There we go. Welcome in everybody. We're gonna be getting started soon. Sure you're sending your daily heart me's, tapping the screen. That way more people see the live and we get more guests requesting. Hey Stacy. Do the bags under my eyes always look like this, or I feel like I look like I'm dead. Hold on. Yeah, it's cold. $1 million for the National Guard to be swabbing the deck. Is that a straw hat flag? Yes. You always look like this? Okay, cool. Fans 28, MAGA MAGA. Joseph, request up. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you, Ice Cold, for the fruit friends. You look a little tired tonight, so I wouldn't say it's normal. Okay. It's just the pirate persona. All right. We're gonna get started soon. Hey everybody, hey Fufu. Smiling's good for the algo. Okay, I have a solution. There we go.
They're eating the dogs.
Thank you, Abby. Okay. So, we're going to go to our first guest shortly. But if you haven't heard, Donald Trump is planning yet another unconstitutional executive order. And passing an executive order that would require voter ID in every state. The Constitution makes it very clear that states have the right to determine how they want to run their elections. And for any changes to that, Congress would need to pass a law. The president does not have the power to influence state elections. Now, we've all seen the famous tweet, and I know every states' rights Republican has now denounced Trump. We've all seen the famous tweet where he said, the states serve at the behest of the federal government. So, like, this isn't surprising coming from him, but that's just not how the Constitution is written. We're going to go to our first guest.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. How are you?
Doing well. So I just want to ask because I don't align as conservative, but I definitely align with them more than leftists. And I just want to ask, if we can have some decorum, because like a lot of leftists I speak with on here tend to like overspeak people. They don't let them finish speaking, and I'm just not really interested in that kind of discussion. Is that kind of the live you're running right now?
Well, I guess first question. How old are you?
33.
Okay. Yeah. I I very much try to not interrupt. And
And let's I like yeah, I don't want to be like I don't want us to be condescending to each other either. Is that like your kind of thing that you like to do?
um. So I will do my best to respect you if you respect me. But if like I start hearing, I'm not saying you will, but
Oh,
this
I'm the same way. The minute someone starts getting shitty with me, I just start getting like really fucking like. But yeah, so when you say conservatives are wrong about literally everything, what's your first point of contention? Like I said, I'm not conservative, but I feel like at this point in time, I align more with them than people on the left.
okay. Um. So first of all, I would say that right now the Conservative Party has no respect for the rule of law. Period. They nominated and elected a convicted felon. They many politicians on the conservative side supported the attempt to essentially overthrow the government when Donald Trump pressured his Vice President Mike Pence to select fake electors at the certification process on uh, January 6th of 2021. Not to mention, now in Donald Trump's second term, he has violated the Constitution multiple times. Not only was it with his executive orders, but with actions of his administration. That would be like just one of many contentions. But I'm happy to talk about anything because, as I said, they're wrong about everything. There's not a single policy position presented by the Conservative Party, probably since Reagan, that has been a net negative, a net positive for anyone but the top 1%.
Hey, I agree with you. Reagan was a disaster. When you say conservatives are wrong about literally everything, what's the first like position that
I
comes
gave
to your mind?
I gave you my first position. It is that they don't care about the rule of law. They don't care about the rules. They just care about winning.
Okay, that's. I'm not really sure that's necessarily a position, but
Okay.
is
Well,
it,
okay. Tell me
is
something that
that
conservatives are right about. You say you align more with conservatives. Let's start
Oh
there.
yeah. Well, so the primary reason I voted for Trump in this last election was immigration. May I ask what your thoughts on the immigration, for lack of a better word, issue currently is?
Yeah. So I think that we haven't had comprehensive immigration legislation in 40 years. So what I would want is more legal immigration and less illegal immigration, facilitated by some kind of comprehensive piece of legislation. Now that said, I personally don't think there is a an issue with people that are already here for multiple years and have families. I think the idea of spending billions of taxpayer dollars to remove them inhumanely is not helping anyone.
Okay, well, I kind of disagree about the it being removed inhumanely because I don't know if there's a way that leftists would be satisfied saying there's a humane way to deport someone. But like when you look at like people who have been here for years, you know God, the lion filter is fucking me up. But the Maryland man, Abrego Garcia, like that guy's been here for a long while, and like he has clear ties to
Wait,
MS-13.
wait.
He's
This is. I do interrupt when people just lie. You're lying right now.
what?
No, no pun intended. What are his clear ties to MS-13?
Well, I mean, if you look at the tattoos, like I mean, like if you don't understand like gang tattoos, like that's kind of an on you thing. Like
So,
it's like
so Trump thinks that the M, the S, the one, and the three are on his knuckles. You're not one of those people, right?
no, but I'm just saying like it's like when you have tattoos that other people in a gang have on them, like that's usually like when you join a gang, you'll get like matching colors
Is
for
it? And that's enough. That's enough to send somebody to a concentration camp. You think?
a concentration camp is an extreme
What do you think
exaggeration.
CCOT is?
Hey, can I finish speaking, please? When you use the word concentration camp for mere prison conditions, which I agree in some prisons conditions are worse than they should be, but when you use the term concentration camp to define prison conditions, I think you are like you're you're kind of making a mockery of what the concentration camps actually represented to the poor souls that were in the concentration camps. Like it's like people get like people say like, oh, they have them shave their heads. It's like that's a prison thing.
They leave
Like
the lights on 24 hours.
they have to be able to see what people are doing for 24 hours so they can see that. Like it's like I can sleep in a lit room.
Wait,
Like that's not torture.
no, it's literally defined as torture.
Okay, well
Why do regular prisons not have the lights on 24 hours a day?
because people in the deportation centers like they don't know who's in these gangs or not because they're not vetted when they come in. Like they have to be able to know what's going on. And like while I agree, like yeah, that like sucks, but at the same time it's like sleeping in a lit room is not impossible. It's not like they're shining like floodlights in their faces.
Okay, so what do you think about waterboarding?
Waterboarding, that's evil and inhumane, obviously.
Okay. So if waterboarding and sleep deprivation are categorized in under the same umbrella,
Sleeping in a lit room is not sleep deprivation. If they were playing loud music, like keeping them awake, and they were rattling the cages to make sure they don't sleep, that's obviously torture. But being in a lit room, I've passed out in a lit room countless times. Like,
so Human Rights Watch declaration on prison conditions in El Salvador for the JGG versus Trump case.
may I ask real quick? Sorry for interrupting, but you have interrupted me a couple times. Like Human Rights Watch, who is backing this? Where are they from? Like, may I ask? Because I'm not super familiar with Human Rights Watch as like an organization.
Okay. So they are a nonprofit organization, watchdog, that make sure that governments around the world are not abusing human rights.
Do you know where they're like based? Like who they're from? Like who their organization is made up of? Because I mean that does make a big difference. Like I don't know if you'll agree with this, but it does make a big difference.
Sure. So
Thank you.
I will go into that for you.
Thank you.
Can you answer me this? What would I have to, when I tell you who runs this organization, what would it have to be for you to say, oh, okay, this sounds legit, versus, oh, well, I don't care what they say?
Well, I mean, obviously they can't have political ties. They have to be an altruistic organization.
What's a political tie?
Are you actually asking me that question? What a political tie is?
Yeah, so this is an international organization, right? So what is a political tie? They're obviously not Democrats or Republicans. An international organization. So what would a political tie be?
There's still globally aligned interests. Like you could say, like the Labour Party in the UK is aligned with like Democrats in America.
Yeah,
like,
no, they're not aligned with that. However, they do align. So their goals are, and I know where. I'm going to read you what their goals are. Okay, so they're headquartered in New York City, and the group investigates and reports on issues including war crimes, crimes against humanity, child labor, torture, human trafficking, and women's and LGBTQ rights. Now, I understand that LGBTQ rights to horrible people are political, right? Like everything I said should be. Everything I said. Yeah, go ahead.
When you just start throwing around things like saying like people who don't agree with this are horrible people, like you're kind of like.
What, agree with what? So you disagree with LGBTQ rights?
Dude, I'm a bisexual tranny. I don't disagree with human rights. Like I don't disagree with.
I don't know why you would slur against yourself, but if that's the case, then why did you?
It's not a slur. People use this. When I was growing up, people use this term all the time, and it wasn't like, oh, I hate this person. It's just like they're transsexual. Like that's what I am.
Listen,
and I accept.
I understand.
It's a slur.
Okay. I understand. The trans community seems to disagree, but whatever. Let's move past it for now.
Okay.
I said that LGBTQ rights in this context can be seen as political by bad people, and you jumped to defend yourself. Why would you think that I was talking about you?
Because you said the LGBTQ community, and like the thing about and I know this is a little bit of a tangent, so sorry, but the LGBT community is kind of political in a manner. Like I have had friends, like I lived in Seattle for a while, like I have had friends who like when like like they would be friends with me, because it's like we have a common like life experience, like but the minute that I disagreed with them on any single issue, they would hate me and they'd treat me poorly and they'd say all sorts of horrible things to me. And it's like it's so it is the LGBT community. Like LGBT people are not political. But the LGBT community, in quotes, is a political thing.
I'm sorry that you went through that, but I didn't even say the community. I said that they fight for LGBTQ rights. And then I said, I recognize that LGBTQ rights is a political issue for horrible people. And you immediately
But see, no,
assumed
but
I was talking about you. Why?
Oh my God. See, you're being condescending now. Look, I appreciate you having me up, but I don't think that we're going to have a productive conversation. So I'm going to take my leave. Like I said, I appreciate you bringing me up, but I don't think this is going to go anywhere.
I apologize that your feelings were hurt. I don't know what else to do. Kind of sounds like you're incapable of having any of your opinions pushed back on. You seem to be okay with torturing undocumented immigrants in CCOT, and you were upset that I called it a concentration camp when I described that torturous behavior went on there. You disagreed about what the definition of torture is. So then when I went to read about the Human Rights Watch and their lawsuit regarding it, you said, well, who funds them? Are they political? And then you crashed out when I called people that don't believe in LGBTQ rights horrible people. You immediately jumped and assumed I was talking about you. So, yeah, like if you think that I'm just gonna allow, someone to be wrong on, like you said, Kilmar Abrego had clear ties to MS-13, and I interrupted you there, which I know usually, by the way, 9 times out of 10, if a guest comes up and says, can we have a productive conversation? Can we be respectful? 9 times out of 10, they end up being just one of the worst guests possible. So, when you said that Kilmar Abrego had clear ties to MS-13, and for that reason, then you're cool with the concentration camp, whatever, I had to interrupt because it was just a lie, right? So, if you think that I'm gonna just let you spew lies on the platform out of respect, then what I'll say is I'll show you the exact amount of respect that you showed me when you placed your vote for Donald John Trump, which was none. You don't care about my healthcare. You don't care about my status. I mean, I'm not a white looking person. I might get stopped on the street. You don't care about that. You don't care about my kids, right? Being shot up in school. You don't care about that. You don't care about my girlfriend's ability to make her own healthcare decisions. You don't care about that. So I'm going to show you the exact amount of respect that you showed me when you voted for Donald Trump. It's like that scene from American Gangster when Denzel says, the guy says, well, what about us? Do you ever think about us? And he says, I think about you as much as you think about me. So we're going to go to the next guest. Hi, welcome up.
Hey,
What's going on?
linear discussion. The first thing I want to mention here is when you call people, say, hey, come up, let me debate you. It is when you're on the failing side that you want to prove your point. If your point is a natural and visible point, people will see it without you debating it. Am I right or wrong?
If my point is what on every single point?
If your point is logical and reality, you don't need to call people to debate them because they will just see your point. They will buy with you. But when you call people to debate with them, it's because you know that you don't have the facts. You want to push the facts that are not reality. Am I correct or wrong?
If that were the case, then whoever comes up to debate me, you're wrong. Your sentence is illogical. So, yeah. So if that were correct, then you could say the same about the interlocutor, right? The person that comes up to debate. Why would they come up to debate if everything they believe is logical? Then there is no debate. It's incoherent. Your position is incoherent.
Go ahead.
So,
when you start talking to that lady the way you spoke, and based on several liberal lives where anything they put about either color, misogynistic, and so on and so forth. When you buffer her like that, how do you feel?
When I what like that?
When you buffer that woman who just
Bat
decide,
for?
when you disrespectfully talk to her that way, and you say you are the party of women, how do you
How
feel
was
about
I
it?
disrespectful? What did I say that was disrespectful?
You don't know? Did
No,
you
I don't
allow
know.
her to talk?
Give me an example. What did I say that was disrespectful?
Just for she wanted to talk about immigration, you denied.
We were
But
talking about
she's a woman.
immigration.
But she is a woman. She was bringing points on it. You deny. You push back. You try to deviate, change our topic. You didn't want her to talk about the
We were
things that
talking.
she is
No, you
more
didn't follow. I
where,
apologize.
where she was more fluent on. You refused to talk about it. Where on the
You
station where
didn't
she was
follow
not.
the conversation. The conversation was they want to talk about immigration, right? They want to talk about immigration, and we were talking about CCOT. That's the place where our president is sending people, regardless of if they've been convicted of a crime, and then our taxpayer dollars go to pay El Salvador to hold those people indefinitely. So I brought that up, and the guest said that, well, the CCOT isn't a problem because there's people like Kilmar Abrego Garcia that have clear ties to MS-13. And so
Mhm,
I pointed out that that's not true. That is not changing the
mhm.
subject. That is debunking a
Mhm.
lie. I
She
am
went
not a
down.
fan of hearing lies on my own live. Is that
She went down because she felt uncomfortable, right?
if pushing back on lies makes the guest uncomfortable, that is not my problem. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you made her feel uncomfortable, and she decided to drop down. But you're a party of the women. You say you support the women, right? And when you talk of pushing back something that is not true, what are you talking about? Gang members, particularly MS-13, they have tattoos that identify them. And Garcia had it. Then when you say it's a lie, what are you talking about? What is wrong with you? Is that a mental issue or what?
Do you think I'm a pirate?
You only bring another narrative.
I have a pirate flag behind me. Do you think I'm a pirate?
Excuse me. And by the way, you think that if you say anything about anything that is right, because your leaders have said so, you become correct?
No, I don't. I don't trust my leaders blindly. I look at the information
You
in
trust
front
them
of us.
blindly because court documents show that Garcia is a member of MS-13, but you say
Oh,
it's a lie,
oh,
and you push
okay,
back.
perfect. Yeah, can you show me those documents actually?
Pull up the documents. You know where they are.
Uh, I know where the documents are. No, the documents that I am familiar with is that Kilmar Abrego Garcia had a withholding for deportation under
Okay, where are those? Can you
fear
show
of
me those ones?
persecution. Under fear of
Can you show me
persecution.
those documents?
Yes, when I show you the documents that he was not to be deported to El Salvador because of fear of persecution from Barrio 18, you're going to say, oh, actually, shit, Dan was right the whole
So
time.
the video showing that he was trafficking women, you did not see that video.
No, I didn't. Pull it up for me. Thank you. Go ahead. I'll wait.
It is very sad that people you just sit and because
No,
you
I'm sorry. So what I don't do, I don't just believe people when they say things. The internet is a big place, okay? A lot of liars. So when you say something, you should be able to provide evidence. And when I ask for evidence, that is not your cue to complain about people not believing lies. I'm sorry. If you'd like, I can provide you the evidence that I have, which is that it was illegal for the Trump administration to deport Kilmar Abrego Garcia to El Salvador. I can show you that evidence. If you'd like to see it, I'll pull it up. But it's for some reason you can't provide me evidence of any of the lies you're telling, and you're upset that I get frustrated with liars. I am not going to be polite to people that lie openly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm done. We're literally losing our country to fascism, and you want to tone police me? You also try to call it hypocrisy, saying, "Oh well, liberals are the party of women," but you were being mean to a woman. The guy in office that the last guest voted for sexually assaulted a woman. The guy in office that the last guest voted for made it so that women can't make their own healthcare decisions. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you going to drop now? Did I make you uncomfortable by being frustrated with you?
You can do that to a woman, not me.
What?
Because you can only do that to a woman. You cannot do that to me.
I can only do what to a woman?
You can only lie to her. You can only tell her that what she's saying is wrong, which is right, for her to feel that with me. As a man, I don't have those feelings.
Bro, listen, we're equal rights and equal lefts out here, all right? If you lie, I'm debunking it. I don't care if you're a man, woman, non-binary. If you're lying, I'm going to call you out on it. I'm sorry.
The fact that you don't like something doesn't mean that it's a lie.
Okay, so all right, prove your claim then.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
All you gotta do is prove your claim. That's it. I'm just asking you for evidence. It's so simple.
Pull up his video. Go to YouTube there. Just pull up his video that he was trafficking young women.
His video. Who posted it?
Women.
Wait, who posted it?
Go to YouTube. You'll see it.
Who posted it? Who posted it?
It doesn't matter who posted it.
Yeah, wait. I'm sorry. Yes, it does. I'm sorry. Yes, it does. If an AI account that says "see my pussy" posted it, then I don't believe the video.
You see,
right?
a Libra. Now he says it's AI.
No,
that's the lies that you guys spilled.
I didn't say it was AI. Hey, Smoothie. I didn't say it was AI. I asked who posted the video, and he ran. Okay, so tonight's guests. Okay, last night we had a bunch of Nazis. Tonight, just people that are unable to exist in a world where their lies aren't believed as fact. Ask for evidence, crash out and leave. Got it. That's what tonight's guests are. That's the theme of tonight. Odd. We're gonna go to the next guest. What is he even yammering about? I don't know, bro. They picked the wrong one tonight. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for joining. We're live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights doing live political debates, political discussions, and fact checks. We also try to be live for all major political events. And before I go to the next guest, I do want to point something out. In my bio, all right, there's a link tree. We just added something to the link tree. We re-added it. It was there before the election, but I just realized that this should be something that we're talking about this early because 90 million people didn't vote in the last election. The number one link on my link tree, vote.org. This allows you to check your voter registration if you think you're already voted, you're already registered. Sometimes people get purged from the voter rolls. You can check your voter registration. You can check if your state allows primary votes from non-affiliated voters, right? Because some states have closed primaries, some states have open primaries. So if you want to make sure that maybe Gavin Newsom isn't the nominee and Pete Buttigieg is the nominee, or whatever you want to decide on the Democratic side, find out if your state allows non-Democrats to vote in the Democratic primaries, or if you have to register as a Democrat. It also provides all the deadlines. It provides all of the deadlines for your party registration, the deadlines for the vote, and that way, once this is out of the way, you won't have to worry about it come midterm time, come 2028 time. There's over 300 people in here. Make sure I want every single one of you, unless you're planning on voting for a fascist. If you're planning on voting for a fascist, if you could do me a favor, just go to Checkers, get yourself, they have really good fries. Don't worry about voting. In fact, the voting's rigged, allegedly. Anyway. But yeah, if you're not planning on voting for a fascist, make sure you're registered to vote. That's the first link. Second link, all of our sources, unlike the last two guests, everything I say on this live is backed up by a source, evidence, article, study, all here. Second link in the bio. It's all organized very nicely by our mod Neely. W's in the chat for Neely. You can go through all of the sources that are color coded. It's a work in progress. Obviously, every day it updates because we can't go one fucking day without some new news. But yeah, everything we talk about on this live is backed up by some kind of source. All available. We do not live our lives here by vibes and feelings like the other side. The other side say things like Biden opened the border. And then I ask them, what did Biden do differently than Trump? And they shit their pants and leave because they don't know. They were told that Biden opened the border, and so that's what they believe. When the other side says, look at how high prices went when Biden was president, I asked them, how did Biden cause global inflation? They immediately disintegrate. Like when a Digimon dies in Digimon Adventure. They have nothing except their vibes and feelings. So If you're ever talking to your MAGA relatives and need some sources as backup, second link in the bio. Everything after this is just like the pay links and other socials and stuff. Feel free to follow all that stuff. But I really wanted to shout out vote.org. I'm going to try to do this every single day until the midterms. I know it's early, and I know a lot of you are going to be like, come on, again with this. But 90 million people didn't vote. 77 million people voted for Donald Trump. 90 million didn't vote. All right, go to the next guest. Oh, actually, there are no next guests because MAGA saw what happened to the last two guests. They said, oh shit, Dan's going to ask for evidence. Everyone pulled out of the box. Oh, here we go. Hi, welcome up.
Hello?
Yeah, I feel like you're a troll. Ultra MAGA chud. There's no way that's... Okay, and there's a runner. Interesting. Abby, thank you so much for the give me the mic. You need help, bud? Chip, come help me. Prove me wrong about anything. Any single thing that I've said so far. Been live 30 minutes. Different Chip. Been live 30 minutes. Prove me wrong on a single thing. Hi, welcome up.
Hey, brother. How's it going?
It's going.
Hey, I try to open up the sources, and it's giving me like a blank box, and then it talks about the archive.com on the bottom, but I can't open the sources. Just wanted to let you know.
I think it's a TikTok issue. So when you open Linktree from TikTok, it like,
Gotcha.
yeah, you might have to, if you just open in browser, it should work. It's not a Linktree glitch, it's a TikTok glitch, I believe. Ooh, Chip's requesting. Okay, well, while he figures that out, we're going to go to the next guest. So Chip said, I need help. Let's see if Chip can help. Did that work, tattooing artist?
No, it didn't.
How you
All right.
doing?
Well, if you're in the Discord, maybe
I'm here.
no, I know. I was basically ending the conversation with the last guest. Is that Tattoo? I don't know if you want to just talk with Neely, maybe.
Yeah, cool. We can talk offline. I appreciate you.
All right, bye.
I just added them. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you for your patience. All right. So you said I need help. What do I need help with?
Well, I'm just curious why you feel like conservatives need help and they were wrong about everything.
Why I feel because every single policy that a conservative has passed like 40 years has only benefited the top 1%. Every policy position, every executive order, I mean, every value that they have, they don't actually care about, as we see. Like, they talk about being pro-Constitution. Donald Trump is constantly violating the Constitution. They talk about being pro-law and order, but they elected a felon who tried to overthrow the government. Like, where do you want me to go? They talk about reducing the debt, but then they deficit spend more than Democrats. Where do you want to go? You tell me something that conservatives are right about. Probably easier that way.
First of all, the whole that one thing, you got to know that and acknowledge that that's bullcrap. It is what it is. It was all done by judges put in office by the Democratic side. That's all cool. You want to take that? Oh, here we go. Here we go. See, that's the Democratic side. Like, you don't want to have a real talk. You just want to fake it all.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Did you know that Trump's lawyers were a part of the jury selection process?
Do you know that Trump's lawyers got taken down for all their money? The bureaucratic democracy that we call it had really demolished everybody who ever fought for Trump.
Chip, believe it or not, my question is not answered by that question.
Any of this.
Like, I understand that, like, you don't have an answer to my question, because if you answer that question, it kind of like ruins your point.
Sounds democratic. Yeah, okay, good.
I'm going to ask my question again. Hopefully you can answer it. Did you know that Trump's lawyers were involved in the jury selection process for that case?
They were on, as far as your jurisdiction is concerned, yes.
As far as my jurisdiction?
Yes, as far as like the Democratic judges that put that into place, yes.
Democratic judges
You
that put,
don't understand the swamp. So everything that you're talking about in conviction came out of Democratic judges who were put in place by Biden. Do you realize how many judges were put in place by Biden?
less than Trump actually, but really quick.
Yeah, well, he had to counteract, of course.
Trump's first term was before Biden, so I don't know how you say he has to counteract.
Obama did the same thing. It's all cool.
Well, Obama had 8 years, so Trump put in more judges than Biden during his
I'm
term.
actually glad that Trump didn't win the 2020 election because he had a time to ramp up for the 2024, and he's got.
Okay, so you agree that Trump didn't win the 2020 election?
What do you mean?
Well, because your president, the guy you voted for, tried to steal that election, right?
Oh, okay. And every Democrat has made that complaint, and Republicans too. I'll give you that. Every election, somebody's complaining that it wasn't correct. We're not going down.
This is different. No,
I'm veering off of the conversation.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. We are. Okay, let's go back. So you said the felon thing doesn't matter because you disagree with the judges.
It's not a felon.
Do you know what the crime was?
Yes.
What?
You know what the crime was.
Yeah, I know what it is. I'm curious if you do.
Yep.
Okay. So you don't think that should be a crime, or you don't think he committed the crime? Which is it?
I don't think he committed the crime.
You don't think he committed the crime?
I don't think
okay, so you
anything outside anything that anybody else has done, they're just trying to splatter him because Democrats don't like him. That's the bottom line.
Okay. Can you give me an example of any other person who has done what Trump did in that case?
Biden.
Biden paid off a porn star to influence an election and then hid the payments?
Okay. Okay. So, you go back to Clinton. If you want to talk about people.
Mm-hmm.
I never, as far as porn star shit, that's dumb. What I'm saying is every president has had some kind of debacle, and it's just dumb because the opposite side tries to come up with something to make it real and make it a felony or make it a charge.
So the difference here is that Donald Trump is the only president in history who was convicted of a crime.
Okay, he was convicted because of Democratic judges.
Who do you think does the convictions? Like, who determined that he was guilty?
What do you mean? It's the DOJ. It's the AG.
It is a jury of his peers.
No, it's the AG. It's the Department of Justice.
Okay. Do you not know that there was a jury in that trial?
And the jury didn't want to find him guilty. The judge did the whole thing. The judge basically told the jury how to convict him. If you don't know that, you're dumb.
The judge told the
judge.
Do you have any evidence that the judge told the jury how to vote? And
yes, absolutely. That's what makes it so dumb.
Okay, awesome. Chip, you might have a new Republican soon. All right, show me that evidence.
Okay. I can.
You can tab out. I will wait. No worries.
Right. Well, I guess I must tap out because I can't pull it up right this second. But I'm telling you right now. That's exactly what happened.
Okay, but like, you have a phone, right? You're on your phone. I know that your phone has computing power. So just take a couple minutes, pull it up, and just tell me the name of the article, and then I'll pull it up on my end. All I have just get me the name of the source. That's it. That's all I'm asking.
I'm Google is in your favor to begin with. I'll try, but I don't know how much time it's going to take.
Okay. Well, the thing is, if I go to Google, right, and I type in, here, I'm on Google.
That's my point.
If I go to Google and I type in,
go somewhere, another source. So hold on. Let me see what I can do.
Thanks, Obama.
Okay. Y'all, look at the ad summary. Bro.
listen. I guess I lost you for a second. Let me
Malik,
see.
thank you
Let
so
me
much.
find it.
Yeah,
Let me see.
perfect.
And then you can pull somebody else in the conversation and let me go find it.
Awesome.
All right.
I would love to see your source on that. I appreciate that, Chip. You have a cut in line badge. Next, when you get it and you request up, I will bring you right to the front of the line.
Perfect.
All right, thank you. Okay. Kat, do we want to place any bets on if that guy's ever coming back? We won't hear from Chip again. All right, we'll go on to the next guest. Malik, thank you for the sub. Thank you, anybody that's, by the way, nobody has to gift, nobody has to sub. I do appreciate those that have, but the only thing I'm asking is just make sure there's 400 of you, make sure that you're following. Sometimes TikTok makes people unfollow for some reason. Sometimes you didn't realize you weren't following because I pop up on your FYP every time I'm live. Just make sure you're following. Double check right next to my name. If there's a red oval, that means you're not following. Thank you. All right, here we go. Next guest.
Boyfriend, and I'm sure you've talked about what I'm like in bed.
Hey, Dan.
Hi,
Not disagreeing or anything. Just letting you know that the little line about the judge telling everyone it was a felony is an Alex Jones invention from him misunderstanding what a default judgment is in his case and applying that to Donald Trump's case.
Thank you. There's so many like talking points and conspiracies that it's hard to keep up. I really appreciate it. Now I have a line.
No, yeah, no one should listen to Alex Jones. Don't do it. If you're curious, go listen to Knowledge Fight, knowledgefight.com. It's great. They break it down without the bullshit. You're doing great work, Dan. I'm gonna dip out of here.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. That guy has a deep web of lies. Love my ass off. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I am getting very, very close to being a doomer in regards to information. Like Brandolini's law was already a problem before bots, before AI. For those that don't know what Brandolini's law is, basically it takes 5 seconds to just make up a lie, right? Like, I read the vaccines rewrite your DNA, but then it takes like hours potentially to debunk a lie. So that's already an issue, right? Like, we can spend so much time debunking a lie, whether it's like on a live like this or just talking to somebody, or on a presidential election. For example, the lie that Biden opened the border. Clearly, the Harris campaign was unable, or the Biden campaign prior was unable to debunk that well enough, because if everyone on the right is saying it, and it takes 0 seconds to say it, but it takes a lot of data and knowledge about how government works to understand. Like, you need to know what Title 42 is. You need to know when the spike began, which was in Trump's administration. You need to know all this stuff. That's going to take so long to get regular people to understand it. So, like, I already was like, oh, this is going to be, we might be lost forever to misinformation. But now with AI, I don't know. I think we might just be cooked. It really, like, I'm trying to keep going. But every time I think about it, I'm like, how is, like, we would need 100,000 Dan Malicks and Parkers and Deans to counteract just the comment sections. I don't even know. Anyway, I'm sorry. We're going to the next guest. Ban AI yesterday. All you MAGA weedings yapping in chat. Wait, there is no next guest. Where's the MAGA? There, I saw you guys in chat. You throating your president. Where'd they go? Not all claims deserve a response. The problem is, while not all claims deserve a response, when you don't respond, then that claim is taken as true. I remember I genuinely felt so gaslit in, I don't know, 2022-ish. This is before I realized that Facebook was genuinely just a total cesspool. Facebook is like, it's like boomer 4chan at this point. But I was in a comment section about like masks and stuff, and pretty much everyone agreed that all of the COVID precautions were actually just like unnecessary and an overreaction. Everyone, like I was looking through the comments, waiting for someone to like be like, "What are you guys talking about?" There's evidence that shows that social distancing and masking reduced the amount of people that died. But I was like, wait, am I wrong? And then like I started doing research and I was like, oh no, it's just that whole thread was just an echo chamber. This is insane. So what evidence was that? I mean, it's not was, it still does exist. Do you wanna come up and talk about it, meatballs? Effie is okay if you lock it down to real friends. Yeah, we have a rule on this live. When there are no guests in the box and you are MAGA, you don't get to type. You have to come up. I'm sorry. Them's the breaks. If you want to defend your pedophile president, you're gonna have to come up. Sorry. Pedophile protector president. We don't know for sure. Just because he sexualizes 10-year-old girls and just because he walks into Miss Teen USA pageants while they're half naked and looks at them and says that he's allowed to be there, and just because he doesn't want the release of the Epstein list and says that anyone that wants the release of the Epstein list shouldn't support him, he's a pedophile. I'm sorry. I apologize. Conservatives are incompatible with modern society. 100% agree. 100% agree. What? He's what? Real quick. Where's MAGA? MAGA, you guys recognize that when you say something in chat, but then don't request up, like we don't even assume that you're a real person. Like there's evidence that Russia pays people to just pretend to be MAGA. So I'm gonna go ahead and just assume you're a Russian bot unless you come up and prove me otherwise. The golfing pictures this weekend are supposedly from June. So I saw a TikTok claiming that, but I didn't see good enough evidence. Like it was like he was wearing the same clothes and there was the same car, but like he always wears baggy black pants and a white shirt and red hat and stands like the front half of his Zentor. Like that's all. He's always done that. So like I don't know. Maybe you never. No, Dan, the picture legit old. Okay, I would have to see a better presentation because I'm not convinced yet. There are actual press pool photos. I wouldn't come up if I was wrong all the time either. We are waiting for Big Beautiful Obituary. Bolts. What I was thinking about doing before those alleged pictures came out was I was gonna like, but my caption was gonna be live until it happens, and there's gonna be like a timer, right? So that'd be engagement bait for two reasons. One, because people would be like, wait, is he really gonna be live until it happens? How long is he gonna be live? But two, MAGA would come up and be like, why are the Democrats hoping for the death of the president? And then I would be like, what are you talking about? When did I say that? It just says it. And they would, they would start to crash out and it would be good.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, what's up, Santana?
I just wanted to say, I went down a rabbit hole this weekend, and then the video and pictures came out, and then the video and pictures are now being proven to be old, and so I'm going to make another video. So I'm not going to say that it's a was it Weekend at Bernie's situation, but something is afoot. I'm not going to speculate, but I will say that for some reason he's been posting pictures today saying that he was doing stuff, and they're easily disprovable.
Okay. Listen, I hope I hope for whatever's best for this country.
Yep. Same here. Which, I mean, to be honest, if it is, you know, if it actually happens, I don't think that would be best for this country.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Go ahead. You
I think they would lose their shit.
Thanks, Obama.
think they would lose their shit?
Yeah.
I mean, they will, but because their conspiracies will start, right? He was poisoned with the tip of an umbrella or whatever. Even though he's like an 80-something-year-old man who eats Big Macs and drinks Diet Coke as every one of his meals. Like, obviously, if something happened, it's because of natural causes. But of course, the conspiracies would spread by grifters like Alex Jones, spread by grifters like fucking guy's name, older millennial, and whoever else. And yeah, they would lose their shit.
I don't know. Like, I think that like him not being in office is, in my opinion, is what's best for the country. But for them, you know, not necessarily understanding how time and age works, and then, you know, thinking their daddy is a superhero, like Superman just doesn't, you know, unalive. So I don't know. I will say again, he posted a video saying that he was golfing with John Gruden today, but the video was from earlier in August.
Thank you, Mary, for the sub.
There's actually John Gruden posted the picture of him golfing in the exact outfit on August the 23rd, when him and Trump were golfing at the same place, and both of them were wearing the same outfit. And then also he posted a video like hitting the ball, and the actual video is from November. And it's funny because Gronk or Grok or however you call it on Twitter is the one that like did it like analyzed it and said, you know, based off of the greens and the trajectory and like all this other stuff, but it broke down like how it doesn't look accurate, and it's more likely it's from November. So I don't know. It's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. I'm not really a conspiracy theorist, but I will say something is strange.
All right. I look forward to your video on it because I know you're a lot better at fact checking than the some of the other people on this app. So
yeah, I don't want to put out any misinformation or disinformation, and that's why I just keep saying like I don't know, but like the one thing that I can say for sure is the stuff that he's put out within the last 24 to 48 hours is not things that happen within the last 24 to 48 hours. That's the only thing I can say. Like the pictures for sure, and the video for sure, those were not from the last 24 to 48 hours. Unless, you know what? I wear the same outfit sometimes. I mean, like maybe both him and John Gruden were wearing the same outfit on different days and took pictures. I don't know. Oh, that's all I got, Dan.
thank you so much, Santana. Everyone, make sure you're following Santana before he drops.
See you later, bud.
Bye. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Someone going to wear a Trump suit like they accused Biden of? I'm not even sure. I thought you were okay. Hold on. Chat, YouTube chat might be where it's at. Hold on. We need to start setting up a phone number so that YouTube and Twitch can call too, because we got some crash out going on in chat. What do we got here? Let me see. All right. So Biff Tannen. I'm supposed to call in for free? Why would we pay you to call? What? Hey everybody, if you're here for the first time, thank you so much for joining. We're live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night doing live political debates, political discussions, and fact checks. We also try to be live for all major political events. So if you like this content, drop a follow, tap the screen. Thank you all so much. As a reminder, first two links in my bio, in my link tree in my bio, vote.org to make sure that you're registered to vote. I know it's early, but as Obama once said, vote early and vote often. You want to be voting in your local elections. You want to be voting in your midterms. You want to be voting in your presidential elections. And then the source document. Everything we talk about on these lives are backed up by evidence and sources, unlike the other, I don't even want to call them a party at this point. They're, to be a political party, you have to like govern. I don't think that the Republican Party knows how to govern. So, okay, we're going to go to the next guest. I'm not asking to be paid. They're asking me to call. Biff Tannen, what are you talking about? Has anyone seen Chip? Oh, yeah. Well, Chip should be back soon with that evidence, right? He's had plenty of time to pull up that evidence. Hi, welcome up.
Hello.
What's going on?
How you doing, Dan?
I'm all right.
Awesome.
Do you disagree with the prompt?
Yes. Completely.
Okay.
Actually.
What are conservatives right about?
The family structure, LGBTQ is promoting LGBTQ is bad.
Okay. Let's do one at a time. So the family structure. Conservatives are for what family structure exactly?
The nuclear family.
The nuclear family. Okay. And so you think that we should legislate Americans to have a certain sized family? I thought conservatives were for freedom.
No, I just think we shouldn't legislate against it.
Okay, how have we legislated against the nuclear family?
Welfare.
Welfare legislates against the nuclear family.
Yeah.
Explain how?
Takes the father out the home.
Welfare takes a father
Marries
out
the
the
woman
home.
to the government instead of to the man.
How did welfare take fathers out the home?
Because it incentivizes the mother to be single.
Incentivize the
Instead
mother to be
of,
single.
So
you want women to be forced to stay with? I'm sorry.
On the government.
You're saying you want women to be forced to stay with their baby daddy?
No, they shouldn't be forced, but they shouldn't be paid to leave him.
Okay, so they're not paid to. Wait, I'm sorry. You're under the impression that there are women that are breaking up with their significant others so that they can get on welfare?
Yeah.
Do you have any evidence of that?
Well, if you look at Black America,
there it is. There it is. Okay.
So it's not really like they're advertising. Hey, come and you can break up with your boyfriend, break up with your man or your baby daddy, and the government will take care of you. It's not like that. It's kind of like they know it's an option, so they take advantage of it.
What's up, Chris?
You get what I'm saying?
Hey Dan, what's going on?
You want to take this one?
Yeah, I kind of do, because I feel like there's a numbers mismatch here. So what benefits would be in there? Are you talking about monetary? You talking about social? Like, what are we talking about here?
Monetary.
All right, cool. Well, considering only about a whopping 28%, right? Let's start with like where on the left side of the house here, right? 20% of like families in the other tax brackets, right? About 28% are about 51,000 and below, and the rest are like above that. So, which means for a majority
20% of what?
Of families, make combined about 51,000. That would be a minority. That means everybody else, the literal cost to divorce and lose that form of income
you would be taking a net loss with with the amount of welfare. If that's the case, you would be taking a big net loss. So it can't be monetary unless you're just saying most Americans are fiscally just irresponsible or just don't know what to do with the budget. Then maybe you could make that case. But they're losing out on a lot of money. If you're saying that they're going to divorce solely for monetary reasons, to just take a net loss makes 0 sense whatsoever.
Not just divorce.
That's what you just said. That's literally what you just said. We're gonna start.
No, I
Hold on.
said so hold on. We were talking about the family unit.
Yeah,
We were talking about the family structure.
I
Okay,
agree, but you
that
said
involves children.
you
Okay,
said
it's more.
okay.
I didn't specifically say marriage. Okay,
So when a father leaves the
you
house,
understand? So I just
okay,
wanted you to know
okay,
that.
okay, cool. But like, yeah, you kind of have to, because check this out. This is actually kind of simple. If a mother and a father legally separate, what's that called? Don't get
Uh,
quiet. What's it called?
Say that again.
If a
It's
father,
breaking up.
I know you can hear me. Let's
It's
not bug
breaking
up.
up.
Okay, so
There might be a lag.
okay, so
Either on
a
the streamer
mother.
or in his brain.
Yeah, that's fine. So in order
Delay.
in order for a family to get separated, starting with the mom and dad that you focused on, a mother and a father legally separating. What is that called? Would you like the answer?
Having a child out of wedlock.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one more time, and I'm just going to give you the answer. That had nothing to do with it. Thank you. A mother and a father that are married. Let's think through this, right? Let's think through this. That legally separate. What
Okay,
is
that
that
are
called?
married. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying this whole time.
Divorce.
Okay, right? So your
A divorce.
so your premise, thank you, right? We finally got there. So in order for you to break that family up that you admitted started with the mother and the father, you literally said that that incentivizes the mother to go live from the government and the father to be away from the household, separating. That would result in divorce. And that breaks up the quote unquote nuclear family that you
I'm
said.
sorry. Say that again, because I don't think that's no. That's not what I said. That's not what I meant at
Yeah,
all.
that's exactly what you're getting at. So anyway, going back to my argument, in order for
Say that again.
okay, well, I'm going back to my point, right? So having a divorce on monetary reasons just to go take up welfare, for a majority of households, you'd be inheriting a net negative income. Like there's no way people do that for monetary methods. Unless you want to make less money, then maybe that's the case. And maybe have less means to support your children. And maybe you're just a terrible person, but math don't math up on that part.
Okay. First of all, I wasn't talking about divorce. I wasn't talking
Well,
about
yeah,
marriage
that's literally part of
specifically.
yeah, that's part of breaking up the nuclear. That's part of breaking up the nuclear family that you're using welfare as a boogeyman. Yeah, that would involve the parent splitting, just like you said.
Yeah, I mean, there's more factors too, like sex out of wedlock.
Okay, that
Or
has nothing. Okay, perfect. Guess what? That has nothing to do with the argument because you said in the very beginning, I asked you to give me a factor, and you said monetary. What's the monetary benefit of taking a net loss just to go on welfare while you lose your partner that statistically probably makes a little bit more money than the welfare system for like most American families? I'm very confused about that.
all right. See, you're mischaracterizing
Yeah, I'm
my
thinking
whole
through this
position.
No, I'm thinking through this logically, right?
No,
That's
you're
kind of.
mischaracterizing my position.
I am not miscarriaging it. You brought up monetary.
You're talking about divorce, like I'm
Okay, so
talking about.
okay, so your nuclear family does not involve marriage.
It does.
Oh,
Okay,
But
so
the
that's
point
I guess where the
is,
disconnect is. So Chris is pointing out that women getting divorced so that they collect welfare, which was what your claim was,
yeah.
is a net negative. And you're saying, well, no, it's not about divorce. It's okay. So
I
if you
didn't say divorce to collect. All right. Well, specifically, I'm talking. All right. Let me start over. Lord. Okay. So look, with the black community, because
Why
I'm
just
black.
hone in on
Okay.
everyone? Just hone in on everybody. Don't just pick. So as a black man, yeah, let's not do that. Just Focus on all married people. You don't have to focus on all married people. What the hell? Why
Okay.
just the black
Look,
ones?
you asked me why I
Okay,
am a
just
conservative.
go. You've already changed your
I was
argument.
asked why I'm a conservative.
No,
The
no,
host asked
Chris,
me why
Chris,
I'm a conservative.
him being against the black community is a part of his argument. You have to let him go with it.
Oh,
That's-
okay, yeah,
yeah.
no, perfect. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally forgot.
Okay, sure. I'm against black community. Okay. All right. Anyways, what I was saying was the reason why I am a conservative is because I believe in a strong family structure. Liberals, they don't believe in that. They believe in gay marriage. Hell, who knows what marriage even means at that point? Like,
liberals
can
are
four
for-
guys get married? Can four dudes get married
No,
to each other?
no, actually, that's not a law anywhere. So, except Utah, which is run by conservatives. So liberals
Well,
are
what does
for the
marriage
freedom
mean at this
to live your life as you see fit. It sounds like you want the government to tell you no. You need to have a wife and 2 children. That's a nuclear family, right? That why would you want the government to tell you what kind of family to have?
Yeah, plus you just said to your own accord.
I didn't say that. I don't think that they should incentivize.
Okay.
I don't think that they should incentivize anything other than that.
So you haven't provided any
Anything other than a
evidence.
strong family.
The problem is you haven't provided any evidence that welfare is the reason that there are single mothers in this country. You haven't provided any evidence of that. It's just based on your vibes.
In
well,
fact,
look at Black America.
I
Look
gave
at
you
Black
the
America.
numbers breakdown already.
How many black kids grow up in a single parent home?
And is that because of welfare?
Yeah, I know. You still have to make guess what?
It's a lot of factors, but welfare is a huge factor.
Where's the-
When it
cool.
comes to
Where's the evidence of
politics,
that?
when it comes to my vote,
You need the
that
evidence.
that is one of the.
Where's the evidence though? Like
It's a delay.
There is a delay. He's right. There is a delay. Do you want to, Kevo? Do you want to drop and request back up? It might fix the delay. I'm not sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Here, I'll
plus thanks to your president, the black unemployment's up at 7.2%. It was like 6.3 back in December. Good job for
No.
Thank you, Shauna, for the
great
confetti.
job for creating more households that don't have fucking
no.
jobs.
Thank you so much, Shauna. Okay. Hope the. All right. Testing. Any
Is
lag?
that better? Nope.
Oh, okay. Hold on. When I say the number 3, I want you to say 4. 1, 2, 3.
4.
That's a lag, bro. That is a lag of a lag. Okay, that sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's your connection or what, but that's a rough lag.
Yeah, like it's really bad.
So yeah, maybe. I mean, we can adapt, I suppose. Like Chris, I guess, just like give him a few seconds after we say something, or I don't know. Chat, what do you think? Should we just go to the next guest? Because I kind of want to debunk this guy's arguments. I've heard this one before.
Yeah, there's plenty of research saying that is
Hold on, I should be good now. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right. Hit me with the 4 when I say 3. All right. 1, 2, 3.
4.
Okay, better. All right. So back to what we were talking about. So, is there any evidence other than your feelings about the black community? Is there any evidence that welfare is the reason that there are single mothers in this country?
We need a data set for that.
Well, let's see. I don't know if I'll call it evidence, but ever since, well, I'm gonna just use it like a personal. I'm gonna use personal.
No, please don't. Please don't, because
knowledge.
everybody's personal experience is different. Okay, no personal knowledge. Let's get back into the facts. I'm gonna ask you a question now using data.
I mean,
that
like
we have,
the black
right?
community. Black people started
Okay,
voting
so-
Democrat, and
Hey,
we got welfare in the
Kavon.
'60s. All of that did.
Okay.
All that did is increase the amount of children growing up in a single parent home from 20 something percent
Evidence of that, though.
to over 75%.
Wait, are you saying that welfare isn't incentivizing white women to dump their significant others? Because your absurd claim, by the way, is that welfare makes it so that black
No,
women.
there was more factors as well.
What are the other
Okay,
factors?
so yeah, because like I don't want this guy to steamroll
I
if he's not
mean,
going to
like the
use
war on
any.
drugs, stuff like
Hey,
that.
so okay.
Rugs. I said rugs.
All right, perfect. So one, let's go back to your other claim because you get to substantiate it, right? You're doing what's called a correlation causation fallacy. Just because a program exists doesn't mean it has this impact on the actual community unless you can give me a study or like data that like actually says so, right? Just because it's raining doesn't mean that my bank account like $500 left from it because it was raining. Okay? That has nothing to do with it. So with that being said, right? Let's use some actual data, right? Is higher black unemployment going to create more like fatherless homes? Let's use with actual data here. Would you say that's a fair assumption?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, perfect. Well, under the Trump administration so far, right? I mean, it was 6.3 going in according to the BLS. It's like 7.2% going on. It's like 7.2% right now as of July, right? 31st, and the next report drops middle of September. So using an actual data point, right? Can you tell me how that's good? This happened from January to August, right? So
That's not good.
okay. So
Black unemployment went down.
it went up. It's currently at 7.2%.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it went up.
Yeah, it's
Black
currently
employment went down. That's what I meant.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, jobs period went down. We had one of our worst job months back in July that we had since 2009, 74,000 jobs, right? So yeah. So with that being said, right. Also, there's been a good amount of black women laid off at the workforce this year so far, right? 160,000, right? And some of those were unnecessary. You said, hold on, black women getting laid off of work is good.
No, I was joking.
Well, I mean, for somebody that's trying to be advocate for the community, I'm going to take you seriously because it's like a serious topic here, right? So, like, part of that's linked to like Doge, and even Doge saying that they're trying to hire some of those people back because they didn't quite know what they were doing. So, like, if anything, if there's a detriment like using raw data for the black community, right, from January to August, I can link it to some of Trump's policies. But when it comes to things like welfare, you don't really have correlation to it.
Yeah, well, he didn't do much with welfare, but cut junk food from food sense.
Yeah, but that's not the point, though. You still haven't brought the correlation that welfare is creating single fathers. You are saying it. You are not bringing any evidence for it.
Can I just chime in for a second?
Okay, well, when was the welfare enacted?
Okay, so here we go, right? You're just keep at. Okay, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and answer your question because you won't be able to correlate it, right? Cool. Back in the 60s. But guess what, though?
Okay.
You don't have. Okay, so I'm not done yet because you asked me a question, right? You don't have any correlative data to prove that is a reason. Just because something exists in space, right, doesn't mean it's the cause for outcome Y unless you can prove it.
Blackberry, go ahead.
Okay, so
really quick, I want to let Blackberry get in here.
I just wanted to chime in for a second because I'm so sick of this argument. I'm so sick of hearing this type of argument from black men. We are responsible for our own relationships with one another. To give the government that power is insane to me. You are responsible for what happens in your household. You as a black man think that I, a black woman, would rather let the government in my household to separate me and my man over some money like we can't do better together than the government could ever do for us as a whole is crazy to me. There is not a woman on this planet that would rather allow the government to step in her house and call the shots. You don't want to accept the responsibility of becoming a husband. There has to be a reason that a woman would rather choose the government over the man that she trusts with her body and her children. Start being accountable for what you are personally doing in your life and stop giving the government that power. They don't have any authority over what happens between a man and a woman in their sacred relationships.
Okay, well let me ask you a question. Why do we have so many single mothers? Is it because black men ain't shit?
Because we
Like,
are not
is that
meeting
what
each
you're saying?
other. Because we are not meeting each other in the middle of what we are doing and compromising with one another, having open, honest relationships with one another, dealing with problems head on is a problem for black men and black women. I include myself in that. Stay present in what you're standing in and meet those things head on is not something that we do well with one another. Y'all would prefer for black women to be quiet and not say anything than to deal with these problems head on. So therefore, if you're not meeting me in the middle, then other things start to look good to me. Other offers that are improving the lives of my children start to look good to me. There is not a woman that would rather have government money over her personal pain and his time, his effort, his energy, and his input into her children. I would never choose the government over my man that had my back. Make that make
That's good you
sense.
believe that. That's actually awesome that you believe that. But my question is to you. What is causing such high rates of single motherhood in the black community? What is causing it?
The fact that you would rather be a baby daddy versus a husband when we're talking about getting put out of your home. If you're a husband, you don't have to worry about getting put out of your home by the
That
government.
wasn't. Can you answer my question?
If
What
you're
is
a baby
causing
daddy,
the high rates of single motherhood in the black community? What is causing it?
there's a number of things that's causing the fact that, like I said, we don't meet each other in the middle and have open, honest dialect and conversation. Problem solving is a problem.
You don't think it has anything to do with Democrat policy?
That's what I'm
Why
saying.
did it stop?
You'd rather bring the
Why did it?
Democrat into it. You'd rather blame the government than to look inside and see what it is that you are doing wrong. That I am doing wrong. You know what drives me crazy too? The fact that so many men ask for accountability and are unable
Well, I'm
to
asking
be
you
accountable.
what caused it. You said many different things. Can you name them?
What do you mean? What do I need to? If I am
What caused the single motherhood rate to be so high? Why are there so many babies in the black community growing up
because
only
you
by
believe that you
being
believe
raised
in
by
the
their mother
nuclear
only?
family. You believe in the nuclear family without being able to stand up and being the actual head of your household. You'd rather be baby daddy than actually be a husband.
Okay,
Blackberry, do you mind if I answer
so
the
you're
question?
saying black men are the problem? Not just black people?
No, men are the problem.
What about
blaming
Africans
black
and
people.
strong?
Hey, Falcon.
You asked me.
Dominicans? Trinidadians?
What do they have to do with black America? You're still stepping outside of
Well, I'm
everything
saying, what
instead of
caused
what's
this
right
in
in front
black
of you.
America?
But
What
Falcon wants to answer
what
that question.
caused this?
Falcon, go ahead.
I'm
What
really
caused
trying to answer
such high
this
rates of
question
single
for you
motherhood?
if you would stop talking.
Shut up, dude. The freaking
Hi.
welfare.
So
Delay, sorry.
the epidemic that you're speaking of actually has a lot of roots, unfortunately, in U.S. history, starting with the Reconstruction era. I really, really encourage you to read a very short book by Ta-Nehisi Coates called "We Were 8 Years in Power." It is very, very powerful, and speaks to the power that Black communities were able to build when they had protection during the Reconstruction era. And then it also continues to discuss what happened when that protection was withdrawn. So there are several examples that we can bring up that explain this issue. One of the worst ones, unfortunately, and I feel like the trope of strong Black women often comes from this, is that during the Jim Crow era in the South, Black women were forbidden from being stay-at-home moms in many southern states, and they were legally required to work.
No, that's terrible. Awful.
So you've got to understand, like, throughout the South, and even I think in a few northern states, I think Connecticut was another state that did this as well, when they saw their cheap labor drying up because Black men were becoming more and more successful in business and in their own trades and in their own jobs, and Black women were able to stay home and garden and take care of their families and things like that. They took that right to stay home away from Black women and required them to get jobs. And that is, I think, one of the beginnings of what started breaking up the Black nuclear family. And then let's also talk about, let's fast forward a little bit. Let's talk about other systemic disadvantages. Let's talk about the fact that many strong Black communities are now under airports and lakes in the United States. We can talk about the Central Park in New York, Dulles Airport in DC, Tulsa, Oklahoma, the LA airport. We can talk about Lake Gatlin in Alabama.
Inglewood, man.
We can talk over, and none of that has anything to do with the modern Democratic Party. Over and over again, opportunities have been ripped from the jaws of Black people when they were able to build sustainable, thriving communities. And then let's also continue to fast forward, and let's talk about what happened to Black men after World War II when they came home from the war. And two major things that impacted Black nuclear families, and this came from the Conservative Party at the time, happened. First, redlining happened. So with redlining, Black men that had access to VA home loans, it prevented them from being able to buy homes in wealthier neighborhoods with redlining laws. And this happened throughout the United States. And then the second thing that happened is college benefits were often, the GI Bill was often forbidden from Black men after they returned from the war. So you have this huge wealth gap that started to grow post World War II, where the book that I'm referencing, by the way, is called The Color of the Law. It's by Richard Rothstein, and it breaks down
redlining was the
for you if you want to read this. But it talks about redlining. This book talks about redlining, and it talks about what happened to GIs when they returned from World War II and they were not given the same benefits and privileges under the law that they were supposed to have as their white counterparts. And then let's also continue to talk about medical apartheid. Let's talk about how college, and let me make this statistic very clear, college educated Black women are 3 times more likely to unalive in childbirth than their college educated counterparts. When you start looking at the statistics that factor in poverty, those numbers get even worse. There are so many, and then we can talk about the AIDS epidemic. We can talk about the CRACK epidemic. We can talk about the new Jim Crow and how they use the 13th Amendment to continue to enslave Black men through the prison system instead of allowing them the opportunity to work for profit and to build generational wealth and build families. And yes, there are some Black families that made it through all of that toil, that trial, that tribulation, and came out on top. But you have to think about all of the women who lost their husbands in the war, or their husbands came home from the war broken, and they didn't have the GI rights that white men did. You have to think about all of the women whose husbands were taken away. We know, every person in the Black community knows that rugs were planted on Black men to get arrests, especially in New York. in the 80s and in the 90s. We know that. That has been admitted to, that has been proven. And then we can continue to talk about it. We can continue Chicago too. We can continue to talk about Tuskegee. We can talk about the fact that Black men were intentionally infected with STIs, with an STI that they did not know about, that they were passing to the women in their communities, so that American scientists from the US government, from the state government, could watch the progression of this STI to see how they unalived. So you cannot sit here and tell me, I know that there are, and BlackBerry hit on the problems in the infighting within our own communities and our personal relationships, and those are all valid. But you cannot tell me, with the historic uphill battle that we've had in this country, and the fact that literally the switch in the Democratic and Republican Party that happened, that divide was literally over, what was it again, Dan? I learned that with you.
Falcon, I love you, sister. Y'all wasting your time with him. He was just on Mo Live, and I educated him on just about all of it.
Let me respond to her.
No.
Wait, no. Can I say one thing? Because I was actually trying to jump in about the red.
I asked Dan a question. Can I let Dan answer his question? Because I learned this with Dan a couple weeks ago, and I want him to bring this up again.
What was the question, Falcon? I'm sorry.
I believe when we were watching that video series on like the flip in the Democratic and Republican Party, I believe it was segregation, correct? That was the big divide that caused the parties to flip, being pro and against segregation.
Yes. So the biggest issue that, like, obviously now the parties are super polarized, and it's like Republicans and Democrats believe like complete opposite things on almost every policy point. But back then, economically, Republicans and Democrats weren't really that far apart. For social issues, they weren't really all that far apart, except for segregation. Segregation was the huge sticking point. The passage of the Civil Rights Act by Lyndon B. Johnson made it so that the racist Southern voters in the Democratic Party left and started their own party called the Dixiecrats. And then the nomination of Barry Goldwater and the Republican Party made it so that progressive Republicans from northern states left the Republican Party and went to the Democratic Party. That happened over the course of several election cycles, about 3 or 4. And that's what you were referring to. But yeah, Chris and Nickwan both wanted to go.
Yeah, no, I'll just make it quick because, like, the dude above me is just an example. He's trying to pawn it off on somebody else. He doesn't care about the community. So if you go on Congress.gov, right, and just do, like, the analysis of the New Deal, that was a bipartisan bill. Also, if you go to the report on it called the analog of the New Deal, same thing, right? That's literally, like, what I don't like is, like, people in my community that never want to fix the problem. They just want to blame shift, right, and just never get to a solution, right? But yeah, it's kind of annoying, and that's why I could never vote for Trump. But Naquan, go ahead, bro.
Honestly, he's a waste. Again, I spoke to him on Mo panel. He didn't know shit about when slavery ended in the North. He didn't know shit about.
We weren't even talking about slavery when you came on.
It don't matter. You are a danger to the black community when you don't know this stuff and you advocate for
I can go. I got time for him.
Shush. When you don't know shit about black history and you advocate for it to be removed out of the Smithsonian Museum because to you believe it's
words in my mouth.
I'm talking. You said this on Mo Live. I knew who you was once I clicked on your post. Again, you are the danger. You didn't know when George Washington got his first goddamn slave. You didn't know nothing. You knew nothing. You are the danger to the black community. You are a danger to yourself. You. I asked you why in that same EO that he's okay with putting Confederate statues back up but want to remove black history.
You can say all of that, but can you say why? Like, can you give any evidence?
You are a danger. I don't need to give
substantive proof.
I don't need to give evidence. You will never believe evidence. You are the Negro that Malcolm X was talking about. You are that Negro.
Okay, you can say it. You can talk like
You are
But
that Negro. You're a danger. You
Naquan, I
should.
think he was the one that Harriet Tubman was talking about that wanted to stay behind.
Yes. Yes. You
Yeah,
are
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
dude.
yeah.
So
Can you get
again,
back to the prompt?
okay. So
Well,
yeah, we're gonna
go ahead,
we're gonna
Naquan.
talk. I'm gonna talk more facts. So you said
Call me a coon all
somebody
you want. Call me
shush.
a coon later.
I'm not gonna
But
put no cold.
can you stick to the prompt? I know you
Shush.
couldn't do that on the last
Hey,
panel.
hey,
Huh.
slap nut, simmer down. So when I got tagged in here, they said you was talking about welfare. If we actually look at the hard number and per capita, white people are the highest demographic on welfare. You know who started that? A racist ass white president that also started the 1350 bullcrap. When you actually look at statistics and the actual freaking data, it's wrong.
Who
It's
started what?
wrong.
Who started what?
The welfare queen comment that you made that most black people are on welfare, which is wrong.
I never said that.
Again,
No. So, like, Naquan, he's saying that the main driver, you're going to get a kick out of this. He's saying that the main driver, that there's, like, a lot of single moms in the black community, is because of welfare. I gave him actual reasons, though. Like,
I'm saying politically. That's politically the main driver. Okay, there are a lot more
You haven't proved it.
factors.
You haven't proved it yet, though.
But something we can vote for, when it comes to something we can vote for, welfare contributes to single motherhood. Okay, that is my position.
What's your
But
connection
it's based
to that?
on nothing but your vibes.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Right. What's your connection to
And
that?
that's what's crazy. It's just the lack of accountability for why you're not in the home in the first doggone place.
Okay, something we can vote for.
No, shut up.
Well, I want to speak about the red line then real quick.
So, all right, I'm about to drop down.
Okay, and also hold on.
Shut up,
The
I'm
redlining.
talking. Hey, shut up! I'm talking. So again, when you look at welfare in most states, you can only stay on welfare 6
Redlining
months.
was under Democrats.
Shut up. Again, you can only stay on welfare for 6 months, and you have to be actively looking for a job. You have to be involved in a job program. You also either have to be in job training or going to school unless you are non-able body. So again, that does not create the bullshit that you're talking about. What did create single parent homes in the black community was that bullshit that the FBI and the CIA and what's the name did when he dropped all of these shrugs in the black community because the Black Panther was uprising and actually learning their constitutional rights. That's what caused that shit. So if you want to speak on it, please know what you're actually talking the fuck about.
Yeah. Also, I just want to point out, right? So the definition in the U.S. of bipartisanship is quite literally a bill that gets high support from both parties, right? While it was started by a Democratic coalition, there was a lot of conversation up there in the Senate and Congress for support from both sides. So yes, it is classified even according to the U.S. Not that this matters anyway, because even if I were to grant it to him, he still ran away from like welfare. But I'm going to stick to the facts.
Chris, I do want to let Dave jump in. He's been waiting a long time, if possible. If you could just hold
Well,
that.
here's what I think about Redline and Falcon. She actually quoted the book. I'm like almost done reading. Like, well, me, I live in the Democrat city, but whatever the media wants to say, I still pay a bunch of other states' bills with the money that I bring in. But anyways, literally, redlining was a tool that the government used in which black people could not get the same treatment when it comes to getting loans for houses. Literally after after World War II, and people, this was Ford, I think it was still Chrysler back then. Same workers who worked at the factory literally could not get the same loans as white people. And there's literally an example in the book where a group of like 6 black people, they were literally carpool to the factory that was like a 2-hour drive, like round trip. Like, why would they not be able to get a house and they work for the same exact factory? Or it was a predatory issue in which still someone goes on today, which was kind of an issue in 2008 in which, okay, we'll give this black family a loan, but we're going to make it damn near impossible for them to pay their mortgage monthly to the point where, okay, well, they're just going to foreclose on the house pretty much. Like, this is stuff that's just made up. Even in big cities, well, I know specifically in Chicago, there was the public housing like disaster pretty much, to the point where, okay, we're going to provide housing for people who are going to need it. It became a tool in which when the war on rugs or whatnot pretty much infiltrated the housing development. So it came, not only could you not get adequate housing, but you have crime to deal with as well. And they tried to perpetrate it was pretty much I don't want to say just the black community, but minority communities. All these people going to prison. You had the new Jim Crow. This is stuff that's not just made up. It's actually legitimate facts. And we still see the effects of it today. Due to that, 2 and 3 generations were wiped out because of the war, the fake war on rugs, as I think that was Reagan, the way that he put it. That stuff, that it just doesn't disappear overnight. So when you have all those factors, you just can't recover overnight. That literally wiped out 2 to 3 generations of what had happened.
I also want to point out, on top of what he said, talking about generations being wiped out, we are still at the very beginning of a lot of Black communities healing, especially from what happened in the 80s. And I say that specifically because I actually spent yesterday and Friday at a political organizing convention with Pusha T and T-Pain and Family and a bunch of really huge rappers from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s that held a historic organizing convention in the state of Virginia about politics, about mentoring young Black men, about they're trying to push for the amendment in Virginia for men who have been convicted of felonies to get their voting rights back. That's what the convention was about. But it was a lot of older Black men that came up from the 70s and 80s that got these convictions, that were in these situations, telling their stories to young Black men so that history does not repeat itself. And we just had, like I said, this is the first of its kind in this state. This is the largest Black political organizing convention geared towards Black men that just happened in the state of Virginia on Friday. This last Friday. We're finally hitting historic organizing numbers. So when we're talking about rebuilding generations, rebuilding political power, rebuilding family structures, that's happening right now. Like, we are still actively figuring this shit out. And you keep bringing up something that we can vote for. Do you think that Mango Mussolini gives a shit about what's happening in Black families and Black communities? Like, let's be real. Let's be so for real.
Okay, I'm just gonna respond. It's a lot to respond to. So I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna go back to the original prompt. Like we were saying, conservatives are wrong about literally everything. Everything you brought up, the downfalls of the Black community, those weren't because of conservatives. Okay? Conservatism literally just means traditional values. That's what it means.
Oh man, he's gone. That dude's gone.
There's a conservative group called the Daughters of the Confederacy. They were huge supporters of the Mango administration getting into power, and have been campaigning for him since 2015, when he announced his presidency. These are conservative policies very much pushed by these quote unquote conservative Republican women, and they call themselves the Daughters of the Confederacy. Again, Dan just explained to you why the party flip to what the modern conservative party is happened, and it was about our people. It was about
the party flip, the party switch myth, the party switch. That whole thing is a myth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you not agree that the Dixiecrats existed?
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Okay. You're disagreeing with reality because it doesn't fit your narrative.
Republicans' values never changed.
Republicans' values never changed.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Are
so
you? I really
Do you know what? Do you know what Republicans' values are and have?
well, I
have
know what they
always
were
been?
before Ronald Reagan. I know what they were before Ronald Reagan. They were
No.
about
Do you know what they
conservative
are and have always been?
traditional values, bro. Traditional values is a meaningless phrase. You know that, right? You know what the traditional value of the United States was if we wanted to go back to the founding of the United
Okay,
States?
look.
Slavery
Okay,
was a traditional
conservative
value.
values is a limited. It's a limited government, individual liberty.
Individual liberty.
Free
No. You want the
markets.
government to control how many kids you can have and who your partner is.
No, that's not. No, what? No, that's where. No, that's
I
not
would
what
just like to
conservatism is.
say, if we're talking about conservative
Individual
values,
liberty. That right there. That
we're
kills all
talking
of the
about
slavery and all the racism
individual.
nonsense out of there. That takes that out of
What do
there
you
We're talking
think?
about
because the
individual
Democrats was the party of the
liberties and fiscal
KKK, and
responsibility.
they switched.
It's cooked. Okay.
The Republicans have
Yeah,
always been the
he's
same.
gone. What is individual liberty, my guy? What's your definition of it?
Let's see. Liberty, freedom. What's the difference? So liberty means you're freed from something. So that means you're allowed to have freedom.
I'm sorry. We have National Guardsmen in two of the largest cities in the U.S. and a president threatening to put National Guards in Chicago. I don't know
Yeah.
if he's done it yet. I
No,
said
he
I was
hasn't.
huh?
He hasn't done it yet. He's
Change the
talking about
goalpost.
it.
Sorry,
You really
I've been
don't
in
need him, but that's another
the
Change the
conversation.
goalpost. Move the goalpost.
So I don't know. And we also have a conservative party. Dan probably has the numbers. I don't know it off the top of my head. How many trillions of dollars did his big bullshit bill increase our spending deficit?
4
Dan?
trillion. Okay, so really quick, this is the conservative party that you're talking about. All right, so Donald Trump wants to change the way the Smithsonian presents history because he
Yep.
doesn't like the emphasis on how bad slavery was. Do you think slavery was bad, guys?
I don't think we should emphasize it in our history so much. I think we should focus on the positives. I think we should focus on
Wait,
the
hold on.
successes
Wait, when you
from
say
America. Do you
what
love
mean
America
emphasize
or
it in our
not?
history?
Do you think Germany is sitting there? Do you think Germany is sitting there celebrating the? I don't know if I can say it.
No, they're not. They're not celebrating
They're
the
not
Holocaust, but they
celebrating.
remember it's actually illegal. It's
okay,
illegal to
but-
praise Hitler in Germany.
Okay, if you're
You
gonna go
have the
to a
right, if you'd like
national
to.
museum
Wait,
in your
pause,
country,
pause.
do
'cause
you
I've
think
been-
that country should show our successes or our failures?
Okay, so you want the government to change history.
Oh,
Got it.
wow.
Let me,
Okay.
talk. Let me speak. I did a
Go ahead.
German exchange program when I was in high school. I
Like
wanna
the
talk
Civil
about
War,
this 'cause I
like when
went
we
to
won
a
the Civil
German
War,
high
that was a
school.
success.
Let me
That was
answer your question.
a success.
I went to a German
When
high
we
school.
fought to end
Bro,
slavery,
let her talk. Jesus, go ahead, Falcon.
I went to a German high school for a semester for a foreign exchange program. Germany absolutely, unequivocally teaches each and everything about the H cost to their students starting in what we would call kindergarten. They start teaching age appropriate lessons about what the H cost is from what again we would consider kindergarten, and the lessons get more realistic and intense
okay.
as they
Do
grow
they
up.
celebrate
They
it?
grow
Do they
up-
celebrate it?
Let
and-
me
and do they-
finish. They don't celebrate. We're not
Do they
celebrating.
promote it in their Smithsonian
And
and
all-
Promote is promote.
equivalent
No,
of the
shut the
museum?
fuck up for 1 second. What is promote? Do we have signs? Look at all the slavery we did.
In
Is
their
that what we did?
equivalent of the Smithsonian, do you
Mhm.
think they're sitting there celebrating the Holocaust, the H cost?
Let me ask you, what's the
Celebrating, you
difference
idiot.
between Black history in the Smithsonian and H cost history at Auschwitz? Because every single German kid that I know that went through the German school system has been to Auschwitz, and they are taught to treat that as a solemn place of mourning.
Kevo, can you provide?
So don't bring Germany into this,
Thank you,
because
Miles.
part of the reparations that they have given to Jewish people is the teaching of the history, is making sure that every German citizen or German resident that goes through the German school system knows what Germany did so that it can never be denied. They have to grow up confronting that reality.
Yeah.
Real
Kev,
quick,
no, go ahead.
Kev or whatever. Do you know why they do that in Germany?
Why?
It's literally so
So
a
it doesn't
book.
happen
It's literally
again.
so a history
History
won't
didn't repeat itself.
itself. Exactly. Unlike us, but we think it's horrible apparently.
Okay, so Kevo, this is what I'm gonna do. If you can provide me any evidence that the Smithsonian is celebrating slavery, I will become a conservative today. I will vote for whatever fascist, racist, rapist you want. Okay, there's a single piece of evidence that the Smithsonian is celebrating slavery. They're not. The reality is, your president, your cult leader, wants to erase history. He wants the idea of. I'm sorry.
They're overemphasizing slavery in our history. We have
How do you
way more
overemphasize
history
slavery?
than slavery.
How is it overemphasized?
Yo, 1% of Americans in the
You have
South
all the
were
talking
slave
points,
owners.
bro. You have all of them.
Jesus. He has all the firmware.
Okay, so
Oh no, we're overemphasizing over 200 years of American history.
Exactly.
Whatever
It is
shall we
overemphasized.
do?
Well,
Jesus.
that wasn't all of American history at that time, and see that's the problem. Right
oh, do
there.
we don't talk about our successes
Whoa,
at the
Like
Smithsonian?
what 1% of the population owned slaves.
What's-
1%.
okay.
I don't know if you know this.
You act like everybody.
I don't know if
was
you know
like
this.
Everybody had a pet slave,
This is
dude.
first of all, it is not inconceivable for half of a country to.
You act like motherfuckers having slaves
I don't know.
like-
I
like
get
we got
that.
dogs.
I get that you're unable to
tripping.
control your emotions. You can't stop your sentence, even
I'm
though mine's
fine.
in progress. I'd like to finish my sentence and then you can go. Okay, so
Seem like your whole panel crashing out, bro.
I'm definitely not crashing out.
Me either.
okay.
I'm crashing out a little, but that's
No,
that's
no, I'm crashing out because this guy's like this guy's so lost in the sauce. Like, and it's all because someone broke his heart. Clearly, like he was so upset. The moment BlackBerry came up to talk about the reasons why there are more single mothers now, his tone shifted completely. So that's what I think is happening here. So he decided to go down the fake news rabbit hole that first of all, the party switch doesn't exist, even though there's evidence of it. Like the Dixiecrats existed. There's like evidence of their existence. He's like, nope, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. This is him. I don't want to see it.
Democrats maybe switched, the Republicans stayed the same.
Okay, so perfect. I love that you think that. Let me show you. I'm going to show you something real quick.
They
Do
have
you
the
know
same
Barry
values.
Goldwater? Do you know Barry Goldwater?
Yes.
Okay. Do you support his platform? Did you support his platform?
Nah.
No. Why not? You don't know who Barry Goldwater is, do you? You don't know anything about the party switch. You can't believe the party switch, because if you believe the party switch, then it kind of sounds like conservatives are the racist pieces of shit. But okay, so
That's the guy who was alongside LBJ, right?
he ran against LBJ, yeah, and he got his back blown out because he ran on resegregation. So look at these states. Look at these states. These are normally Democratic states, right? These are the states that Democrats win all the time. The Democrats right now.
Who was LBJ's buddy that he was running with in his early
I love
career?
you have everything. No, you are the final boss of the anti-black man talking points. I know. I've heard these. Okay, I know. He was a buddy of the Robert Byrd guy, right? Or is that which talking point? I don't know. He's buddy with KKK
Robert
guy.
Byrd, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Great. He's a buddy with KKK guy. Robert Byrd has denounced the KKK, by the way, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay, there we go.
Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Listen,
say that
listen,
again.
listen.
Say it so everybody can hear.
Okay, so
LBJ.
Robert Byrd. Yeah. So Robert Byrd has denounced the KKK.
And
but
what were
even
they
if he didn't-
fighting?
even
What
if
were
he-
they fighting for?
Even
Like,
if he didn't, one man.
no,
passed
what
the-
were they fighting for in their early, like? What were they fighting for?
What was the
They were
KKK
hand in
fighting
hand.
for?
They were fighting against desegregation.
Okay, so Lyndon B. Johnson
The
passed the
Democrats.
civil rights. Okay, what I'm going to ask you is just stop talking until your synapses start firing at a proper level. Okay, until your brain starts to absorb a few more wrinkles. So LBJ passed the Civil Rights Act. Barry Goldwater wanted to resegregate the country. Take a look at the states that voted for Barry Goldwater. You see how those are red? Those are Republicans. He was the Republican candidate. All right? Those states right now do not vote Democrat. Right now. if there was a statue of a Confederate soldier who was fighting to keep slavery, and we want to move that statue to a museum, which party is it that says, no, leave that statue up? Which party is it?
What, to leave a statue up of
Confederate soldiers? So
Confederate?
Yeah, Confederate
history?
generals. Which is the party that wants to keep those statues up in public spaces?
Republican.
Republicans, that's right, because Republicans are the party of the KKK and the party of the Confederacy. If you go to a rally, a political rally, which party is more likely to be flying Confederate flags? You know the answer.
Okay, but that, oh my goodness.
You know the answer. Go ahead and say it.
Bro, do you know slavery was not all of American history? Like, it's more to American history.
You can pivot if you'd like, but you recognize that it's the conservative party right now.
1% of people who are slave owners.
I love the talking points. You recognize that it's the conservative party right now that are celebrating the Confederacy. It's the conservative party that downplays slavery.
There's no conservative party. There's a Republican party.
I want to let Naquan so he can correct the misinformation about
I've been meaning to. I have a video I wanted to play
because
about
he's
this.
wrong, but I didn't want to steal.
There's no
Naquan's
conservative
thunder.
party.
Yeah, no, now you're right. You're right, because if the conservative party actually cared about the stuff they talk about,
Okay,
then you're
but-
right. The Republican Party is not a conservative party.
Okay, but like, can we stick to the prompt? You said conservatives are wrong about everything.
Yeah.
When I said conservative, the reason why I believe in conservative values is because they support a strong family, the family structure.
Based on what? They don't support a strong family. They want children to starve. They want to take away free school lunches, free school breakfasts. How do they support a strong family? No, they want a weak family. They want a strong top 1%. That's what they want.
Okay.
You don't even
So
support a
you
strong
think
family. If
the
you don't
government
support-
feeding the kids is a solution? See, that's the problem right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. School lunches.
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah. No.
Why would you
yeah.
be
Why can't the
against
man pay for
school
the
lunches?
food?
You don't even support strong family. If you don't support being married before you have children and staying within your household and being a father like you should, you don't support strong family either. Are you a baby daddy?
No.
So you're not even a baby daddy.
No, I'm not a baby dad. No, I don't have any kids out of wedlock.
So why was it such a negative thing for them to bring up divorce and marriage and things of that nature for you?
Is that a print? You said?
I'm sorry? Why was it so
Say that again. You're breaking
Why
up.
was it so negative for them to speak on marriage and divorce when you were talking about welfare? Why was it so negative for you? You're not even a baby, you don't have any children.
I'm not sure I'm getting your question. But
There's
what
a
I'm saying
difference.
is, I believe in a strong family, mother, a father, a marriage.
Cool. I have
know.
a strong family. I have a husband and 2.5 children, the way that the nuclear family says that I'm supposed to. My kids are in bed
Well, that's
currently.
awesome.
No, I'm not asking for your praise. That's not.
That's
The
fucking
point that I'm trying to make is that my
great.
kids also go to
Don't have-
a school that offers free breakfast and lunch for all of their students. My kids have enough food at home. They have a dad that is able to provide for them, but we also understand that is not universal for every family, that sometimes parents unalive from natural causes, sometimes kids live with grandparents that are on social security, and that sometimes other kids need that food, or sometimes my kids just want to eat school lunch because they have cool things at lunch for them to try at school. So why is kids eating breaking up families? Because I promise you, free school lunch is not going to break up my husband and I, right? My husband is fully capable of providing for his children, and it's also cool that free school lunches are available at school for all of the kids in our community. Like, what is the disconnect with that?
I'm not staying up long.
Well,
I
I
don't
never,
need you to
I never made that claim.
You literally just said that was
I
a part
never
of
made
like
that
free
claim.
school lunches was a part of the problem.
Okay, I'm not staying up long. I don't need you to respond because this is not a conversation. This is me talking down to you. So again, I don't know where you got that. Shut up. I don't know where you got that 1% from, because that 1% is when people started thinking that slavery was fucking bad. Because, like I said, you didn't even know that it was slavery in the North. You didn't know about the breeding farms in fucking Virginia. You didn't know shit about Maryland. You didn't know when George Washington got his first fucking slave, which was at 11, for a birthday.
Yeah, and I'm sure the whole panel
Shut up.
doesn't even know that.
Shut up. I don't need you to respond. This is not a conversation.
I don't think anybody on the panel can
This is
answer.
not-
when
Kev, if you could do me a
George
favor and-
Washington got his first slave.
Dude, this is not a conversation. You're not on my level to have a conversation. This is me talking down to you. Like, literally. So again, that 1% that you keep talking about, it was closer towards the Civil War. And it wasn't even 1%. It was closer to 2%.
Naquan, I know where he got the talking point, and I found the video. I was looking for this video. It debunks all of it. So what's going to happen? He's going to watch all 4 minutes of it, and he's going to be like, and at the end of it, it's either going to be, okay, I was wrong, or we're going to go to the next guest. That's what's going to happen. So I'll let you finish your thought, but like I know where he got the talking point. We're about to watch it.
And even with the 2%, that was millions and millions of black people were enslaved. This is the part that I don't like.
1% isn't even correct.
Shut up.
It's actually 2%.
It was, like I said, close to that 2% in the South that actually owned slaves. It was close to millions.
Oh Lord, bro.
Shush.
Wait.
Okay, thank
Do
you.
you,
Thank you for
Kev,
that
you're
one.
not even recognizing what he's saying.
Holy
Shut the
shit.
fuck up. He's telling you that even if it is just 2% who own slaves, that's millions of slaves. I get that you don't care, right? You don't care about your own community, let alone humans, because you're a conservative. Conservatives have no empathy. They don't give a fuck. So black, white, they don't care. They
There
don't
wasn't
care.
even
So-
a million slaves in American history.
Shut up. Yes, it was.
Oh, okay. So this is what's gonna happen. I know you're not gonna believe Naquan. I know that because you already got super defensive the moment he came up. So Naquan, I'm gonna have you finish your thought. All of the stats are in this video. It's only 4 minutes. I know this guy, the attention span, might not work for 4 minutes. At the end, what's gonna happen is he's either going to say, "Oh shit, I was wrong," or he's going to not believe in reality. And we don't. The problem is we don't keep guests up if we live in a different reality. We just don't. So I'm gonna have you finish your thought, and then everyone else, I'll give you a final thought, and then he's gonna watch this video, and then what's gonna happen at the end is he's gonna say one of the following two things. Okay.
So again, that 2 million that you're trying to talk about, that was closer to the Civil War. This is after the North. Well, some of the North felt that slavery was bad, but again, most of those people in the South actually owned 50 or more slaves. Which, if you actually look at the fucking numbers, it was millions of slaves that was enslaved. 90% of American people in America that were white at that time actually owned slaves up until the North started.
Wait, what percentage? What percentage? I'm sorry.
90%.
You said 90% of white people owned slaves at that time.
Yes, before the North started eradicating slavery, which wasn't too much long before the Civil War,
Oh my.
90% of Americans owned slaves. As it got closer to
What year
eradicating
was this?
slavery, shut up.
Oh my goodness.
Shut up. So again, 2% that you keep talking about was in the South, and it was closer towards the Civil
So
War.
more people in the North own slaves? What the hell are you, bro? Fuck.
Dude, you didn't know this. This is why I don't talk to dumb people. Because you didn't know what the fuck Wall Street was originally built on. You didn't know the original reason why Wall Street was built. Again, you did not know about the breeding farms in fucking Virginia. You didn't know none of this shit. So you trying to sit here and you know what the fuck you're talking about?
I don't think anybody in the live knows.
I gotta listen. I have to move on because he's not gonna believe you, Naquan. He's not, because he was shocked. He was flabbergasted when you said there was millions of slaves. He said millions. So in 1860, leading up to the Civil War, right, which wouldn't have been the peak of the number of slaves, by the way, the 1860 census, 4 million slaves. Is that too many, Kev?
I'll concede to that.
Okay, perfect. I love concessions. There's going to be a few more. Naquan, thank you so much for coming up.
You already know it's always love, brother. I'll be in the comments.
Appreciate you. Dave, did you have any final thoughts?
There are more slaves in Africa today.
Kevo, this is not your turn to speak. I'm sorry. Dave, go ahead.
I want the request that you ask him like the 4-part question before you kick him after the video to see if he fits in one of those categories.
Yeah, well, we already know one of the categories. Technically, I mean, verbiage, I guess, wouldn't count. But all right, I will do that. Thank you so much, Dave.
All right.
Falcon, final thoughts.
Quickly, I want to, and not even necessarily for Kevin, because he's not going to listen to me, but for those of you in chat, the breeding farms that Naquan brought up, that is very real. Black men and women were forced they were forced out of their nuclear families and into breeding relationships on these farms in order to have children. And then as soon as the babies were born, they were promptly taken from the mothers and sold. This was a horrific practice wherein Black men and women were medically experimented on and essayed for at least 100 years. And there was also the forced labor camp. What I want you to think about is that Auschwitz today is a memorial. And the labor farm and the breeding farms in Virginia, where people were essayed, experimented on, and forced to work until they unalived, are wedding venues for rich white people. That's all.
Thank you so much, Falcon, for coming up. Blackberry, any final thoughts?
Yeah, for me, it's just his inability to just simply be accountable and stand in the moment. The fact that even as an adult, I think you're an adult, that you don't know that sharing your flaws and your negative parts and attributes is just as important as sharing your successes. When you're honest with people about your failures, when you're honest with yourself about your failures, that's the only way that you're able to grow. And the fact that you think that talking about and discussing slavery is a negative thing. If you were unalived in such a horrific manner, you would want people to remember you. That's it. That's all.
Thank you so much, Blackberry, for coming up. All right, Kevo. So, what I'm going to do, I'll show you a very comprehensive video that debunks a lot of the things that you mentioned. So hopefully, you already had one thing debunked. You now recognize that there were millions of slaves or not. Hopefully, after watching this video, you'll be like, you know what? It sounds like I've been misinformed a lot to regurgitate rhetoric that isn't. And hopefully, at the end of it, you'll realize that maybe the echo chamber you're in is something that you should probably look outside of.
Okay.
4 minutes. It's going to cover the 1% myth. It's going to cover a lot of other things.
All right, so a few days ago I posted this.
I'm going to raise the volume, everybody.
This video of Jillian Michaels saying this on CNN.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans own slaves?
And then I used the rest of her bad math, which included the fact that she used 1860 as her year, which brought in 20 million Americans who lived in the North where slavery had been illegal for 50 years, and the fact that she used 4 million slaves as part of her white Americans math. But then a mutual of mine posted the video on Elon Musk's Twitter, which brought along all sorts of right-wing trolls. But then wouldn't you know it, tonight after one of my replies, Jillian Michaels herself replied and doubled down on all those statistics. And she did it on the same day that Donald Trump posted this inane rant on Truth Social saying museums throughout Washington but all over the country are essentially the last remaining segments of woke. The Smithsonian is out of control and dares to talk about how bad slavery was and says nothing about success, nothing about brightness, and nothing about the future. Imagine a history museum not talking about the future, and in the end he uses this crazy phrase saying that woke is broke. But remember, Jillian, I am the one who's advocating for all history to be taught. I mean, you used ChatGPT and said that the peak peak year of slavery in the United States was 1860, right before the Civil War. According to the 1860 U.S. Census, there were about 3.95 million enslaved people in the country, and that this was the highest number ever recorded in U.S. history. But why is that? Because we all know the U.S. banned the transatlantic slave trade with a congressional act prohibiting the importation of slaves, which took effect on January 1st, 1808. And in the most recent census after that passage, you can see that slaves totaled 1.1 million at that time. And indeed, by 1860, there were 3.95 million enslaved people in the United States. But if we ask Jillian Michaels' favorite source, ChatGPT, why did the total slaves increase by 3 million between 1810 and 1860, even though slavery was banned in the North, we hear that it was from natural population growth. The U.S. was one of the only slave societies in history where the enslaved population grew without the need for continued imports. Enslaved women were often forced to bear children, and enslavers profited from children born into slavery. And while yourself and Trump surely would not want to talk about the fact that there was a domestic slave trade where women were forced to give birth, then their babies were taken away and moved to different parts of the country to live their lives apart, that's not something you really want to focus on, but it is the truth. But what I became more interested in is where Jillian Michaels came up with this exact stat of less than 2% of white Americans owning slaves, and so I dug in on that. And it turns out if you Google that stat, it takes you back to August of 2017 when these Unite the Right guys were in Charlottesville, Virginia, and that's when a lot of people started posting this nonsense again. And if you dig far enough on Facebook, you come up with this post in September of 2017 that matches to this article from Vice.com. And if you look up Vice.com, you'll see that it was created by this guy, who not only was the co-founder of Vice, but he also founded the Proud Boys. You remember the Proud Boys, Jillian. Those are the guys that Trump was asked to condemn in 2020 at this debate, and instead he said this.
And right, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
But let's get back to that Vice article from November 30th of 2005 that was entitled, "Hey Kids, It's Time for Some Dumb Myths and Smart Facts About Slavery." And you can see that this author was a little more honest than you even. It says at the peak of black slavery in the South, only 6% of Southern whites owned slaves. If you include the white people in the North, it means that only 1.4% of white Americans owned black slaves at the height of slavery. But it's interesting to note that the journalist who wrote this article was named Jim Goad. But if we head on over to Jillian's favorite source, ChatGPT, and say, can you give me some short bullet points about Jim Goad? It says that he wrote a book in 1997 called Redneck Manifesto that argued that poor whites were America's most overlooked victims, but it's been criticized for feeding into white grievance politics. He also beat up his girlfriend in 1998 and went to jail for it. And then there's that 1.4 stat that he did in Vice that it says has been widely used by far-right and neo-Confederate groups, and for the icing on the cake, the dude writes for white nationalist outlets. He's contributed to extremist publications such as VDare and Talkies Magazine, aligning with openly racist platforms. So yeah, he seems like a great source, Jillian. Maybe you can have him on your podcast.
Okay. So now that we recognize,
Awesome source.
do you think that's an awesome source?
Yeah.
So you are a white supremacist.
What?
Like I don't know how else to put it. Like you're cool with a white supremacist spreading a lie about the history of your community, and you say that's a good source. It sounds like you're a white supremacist.
Are the people that are selling us our oppression, telling us that slavery is holding us back somehow.
Okay. Are you under the impression that slavery has not had an effect on the black community?
No, I'm not.
Then why did you say that? Why did you say the dumb sentence that you just said?
Because it's not holding. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. There's probably some effects. Okay, of slavery, sure, but it's not holding us back individually.
Or do you think that the Democratic Party is putting out policies that say black people are being held back?
Well, yeah. When I hear a black Democrat speak, they always latch on to like racism and we're old this, we're victims, this mentality.
Can you give me an example of Kamala Harris maybe saying that black people are victims?
Okay. Not Kamala Harris, but let's see. The Democrats with voter ID laws. They're not even smart enough to go get an ID.
Would you be for free IDs to all voting age Americans?
No.
Okay, so I get that you don't understand.
You got to
this.
make them. It's $5, $10.
Okay, so I get that you don't understand this because you don't have the ability to process nuance. Okay, but when you need something that costs money, that requires you to take off work to get, that requires you to have a vehicle to get, then what that means is that fewer people
You need
without
a vehicle to
means
get an ID.
can vote, potentially, or access to public transportation, or I mean, if you need to go to the government office to do it, right? So
I guess black people can't. No black people. Black people.
it's
can't
not
get
about
IDs.
okay, not about black people can't. Oh, do you get that a law can have a racist impact even if it doesn't
That's
write race
degrading.
into it?
And an impact on the population. Sure.
Okay. So when voter ID laws have a disproportionately negative impact on a certain community, why are you offended when that's pointed out?
Well, my point is, we shouldn't change the laws because some people can't get an ID.
We're not. Wait. We're not. You know who is changing the laws? Conservatives. They want to change the laws to force voter
So
ID.
you don't need an ID to vote? Yeah, the conservatives changed that.
You're saying it's a change. The Constitution gives states the right.
You need an ID to vote. What states don't require ID?
Kevo. The Constitution gives states the right to run their elections the way they want to. Okay? So if a state votes to not have voter IDs required at the polling place, right? You still need an ID to be registered to vote. Why do you want the federal government? I thought conservatives were for small government. Why do you want the federal government? What?
There's no room for fraud there. Yeah.
There's no
room for fraud.
There's no room for fraud. Okay, so you need an ID to register to vote, right? And then when you go to vote,
no room for fraud there.
All right, walk me through the fraud. Go ahead. Tell me what the fraud is. Give me an example of the fraud that could take place.
You don't know what kind of fraud could take place when you don't need.
You're stalling. I asked for an example. You're stalling. Give me an example. Walk me through it. Go ahead.
Bro.
If it's happening so often, bro, you can't even fathom it. I'm giving you full creative liberty.
You ever heard of identity theft? Do I have to?
Okay.
Really,
All right. No. Let's walk down that one. Identity theft. Okay. So let's say we have John Smith.
You don't even need an ID to vote. All you like.
You're sundowning right now. I need you to focus. Okay. Well, we're walking through an example of how someone could commit fraud because of these laws. All right. You have John Smith. Okay. John Smith used his ID to register to vote. Correct?
Okay.
Okay. John Smith wants to vote in the 2024 election. Goes to the polling place. He doesn't have an ID. He gives them his name, and then he votes. Is that fraud?
Okay. No.
Okay.
Let me tell you. Okay.
Go ahead. Tell me where the fraud would come in.
So all you have to give is a name, no verification.
Your name and address. Yeah. They ask you a few questions. Name, address. Depends on the state.
Name and address. Okay.
It depends on the state. So states again have the constitutional right to run their own elections. So it depends on the state. But go ahead.
Okay. You ever heard of Joker Stash?
Joker Stash? No.
Okay. You can go on this website and you can buy. I don't know if I can say this on TikTok, but you can buy people's identities.
Okay. All right. So walk me through this. So
on the dark web for
all right,
$2.
All right. So
Bitcoin.
So now Jack Johnson.
You never heard of fraud?
Let's walk down your logic. Okay.
My God.
So Jack Johnson goes to this website, and buys John Smith's identification, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jack
What
Johnson.
verification is needed
Okay.
without ID?
Oh,
That's
hold
my
on,
point.
Just wait, hold on. No. I just want an example. We're just walking through the example. I don't know why you're unable to process what I'm asking you. I'm asking you for an example of how someone could commit fraud here, right? Because we don't pass laws of it's illegal for pigs to fly.
I'm from Atlanta.
Oh, I didn't realize that was random fact that about our lives. Part of the conversation.
Hey, this is the city of fraud.
Okay,
buddy.
This is really embarrassing for you. I'm just asking you for an example. That's all.
That's embarrassing for me.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So I'm just walking through an example, a single example of.
You know how much fraud I've seen people commit? Yo,
tell me what they did. Tell me what they did. Perfect. You saw them commit it. Tell me what they did. Walk me through it. I'm just asking you for an example.
Sure, I'll tell you. You could buy a social security number off the dark web, bro.
Awesome. You have the social security number. What do you do with it? What do you do with it?
Address and all of that.
What do you do with it? We're talking about voter fraud. What do you do with it?
You don't even need an ID. You could just use their name to vote.
Okay,
like, bro,
perfect.
You don't see how that could be fraud?
I'm
you don't see how fraud can happen without.
I'm trying to see it. Stop talking. I'm trying to see it. Thank you. Okay, so John Smith registers to vote with their ID. Jack Johnson buys John Smith's information illegally from the dark web. Okay, now Jack Johnson goes to the polling place and he votes instead of John Smith. Is that your claim?
It's possible.
Okay. So you recognize that type
it's susceptible to fraud.
Well, the thing is that would require him to know that John Smith is not going to vote, right? To get away with it.
Okay, but what percentage of people don't vote?
This is great. All right. So you're saying because so many people don't vote,
nobody is stealing identities to vote. You silly. Okay.
Well, I don't know why you laughed at that. Literally nobody's stealing identities to vote. But if this were the case, right? So you have Jack Johnson buys John Smith's information. He needs to know that John Smith is not voting. Otherwise, he will go to jail for a federal crime. You agree with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many people have gone to jail for election fraud of this type?
No, I don't think it's. I know people are stuffing ballot boxes in it.
Oh no! What you're doing now is changing the subject. Can you just?
It's not really enforced.
No. Wait, it's not enforced.
Many. I haven't heard of many. I haven't heard of.
You haven't heard of it? Yes, because you want to know why the reason you haven't heard of any? Because it's not happening. What you're proposing is so ludicrous.
We can all agree that there is some election fraud going on in this country.
What do you mean when you say some? Hold on. When you say some, what do you mean? Give me a percentage.
Yeah, I just know the percentage.
Like, dude, what? Give me a ballpark. Is it more than 1%?
How much fraud is
how much election fraud is happening?
How much fraud happens in general? Do you know?
How much fraud happens in general? We're not talking about in general. We're talking about elections, right? So let's talk about the last election. Just guess.
Well, Biden, 81 million votes.
Yeah, he had a lot of votes.
More than Obama.
Oh, bro.
Thank you, Miles. Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but there's several factors why he got more votes than Obama.
Really?
Number one is population growth. Number two is that it was a very high voter turnout election, partially due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which expanded access to mail-in voting. Number three was the Democratic electorate was energized to vote against the worst president in modern history. There was a lot of reasons why he got more votes than Obama. If you think that voter fraud happened, we need evidence. I get that you have to live your life off vibes because the moment you look into evidence, your whole ideology falls apart, and then you don't have a reason why you can't find a girlfriend because your reason now is welfare. You're blaming welfare. I get that, but when you look at the evidence, it actually isn't widespread voter fraud. Right?
Yeah, the worst president in history, but he won the popular vote in all 7 swing states.
What? How are you going to appeal to votes when you just said that voter fraud is widespread? How are you a real person with a functioning cerebellum?
I said we can all agree that there's some level of fraud.
Four. Yeah, four.
in
There
our
was four
voting
cases.
system.
There was 4 cases of voter fraud.
Oh my goodness! You keep like misconstruing my points.
I
What I'm
know,
saying,
I know
like,
what your point
you're
is.
taking
You're
everything
saying,
I'm saying,
yes, no, I know your
like,
point. You're saying
and twisting
there
it.
is the possibility for fraud without voter ID laws. That's what you're saying, right?
Okay, so we can both agree that there is fraud. And
No.
there's
Whoa.
some level of fraud
That's not what I said.
in
There
our
is the
in our
possibility.
election process.
I'm sorry. When you say some level, the point that I need you to understand is that the difference between 4 cases of election fraud and 0 is way, way smaller than the difference between what you think it is. The guest of this live has violated civic and election integrity policy. Yeah, because he doesn't understand elections. Yeah, unfortunately, TikTok is going to have me kick you. I would have loved to continue to point out just how backwards your brain is. Biden couldn't have gotten 81 million votes, but Trump definitely got 77 million votes. There's only election fraud when a Democrat wins. There's no election fraud when a Republican wins.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. So the point that Kevo was trying to make is that because there's a possibility that 4 people might cheat, we should make it so that hundreds of thousands of people are less able to vote, have less access to vote. And that is what conservatives want, because conservatives want what's best for the top 1%. Now, this guy, Kev, useful idiot, massive useful idiot, not only for the top 1%, but for white supremacy. Because that's the reality. The fewer people that can vote, especially the fewer poor people that can vote, which usually ends up disproportionately affecting minorities. The fewer minorities that can vote, the more likely Republicans win. And what he's doing is he's being a useful idiot. And and people get conned for different ways. I'm so sorry. I did promise Dave that I was going to ask him the question, but TikTok made me kick him. Now, people get tricked for a lot of different reasons, right? To vote against their best interests. Because again, it's the top 1% that is getting benefited by Republicans, but still somehow half the country votes for them. Kind of like how only 1% of slave owners, blah, 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 but still half the country are so racist that they want slavery. But anyway, let's put that aside. He got tricked because he feels that welfare is the reason that he can't procure a girlfriend or wife. That's I clocked it, and he did not deny it. He immediately got hot under the collar the moment that BlackBerry brought up that it might be men that are the problem in regards to single motherhood in this country rather than welfare. So, anyway. Resorted to anti-black rhetoric? Are you talking about me or him? Voted for Trump in person early? That's awesome, Kevo. Imagine family values being his biggest issue and he has no family. Was he blaming child support? Yes, he was saying that welfare incentivizes women to kick their significant others to the curb. That was his argument at the start. All right, we're going to go to the next guest. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for joining. We're live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights doing live political debates, political discussions, and fact checks. We also try to be live for all major political events. So if you like this content, drop a follow, tap the screen. Also, first link in my link tree in my bio is vote.org. Make sure you are registered to vote. I know it's early, but I'd rather you get it out of the way now so that we don't have surprises in the midterms, if we have midterms. Thank you. Go to the next guest.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. I wanted to kind of ask you about a couple of things, but one thing you just said, I want to make sure I heard you clear. Did you just say that minorities you were talking about minorities voting for Republicans, and you were acting like Republicans won the minority vote?
No. I said that Republicans want to limit minority voters. That's what I said.
Oh, you said they wanted to limit their.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're they vote heavy on Democrat. That's what you're trying to say.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think maybe you misheard. It was.
That was my bad.
Yeah. No, you're good. Same reason why the gerrymandering in Texas makes it so that like every white vote is worth like 2 times as much as every Latino vote and 3 times as much as every black vote with the new gerrymandering maps. Same with voter ID laws. Voter ID laws are going to more disproportionately affect poor Americans, and more minorities disproportionately are poor. So Republicans are always pushing for things that will limit voting for poorer Americans and minority Americans.
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
But for the prompt where you say conservatives are wrong, what do you think about integration and the capitalists pretty much trying to find ways around paying people livable wages by letting immigrants into our country? What do you feel about that?
Find ways around paying people livable wages by letting immigrants into the country. Okay. So, are you saying that? Thank you, Ice Cold. You're saying that these corporations are not paying people more because immigrants are coming in to undercut the job market?
No, I'm saying that their goal is to filter out the people who are getting paid good wages in America, maybe due to just experience or like, long-term work experience, with letting immigrants into the country to take those jobs. Like, why you say conservatives are wrong, but conservatives are very against that with their heavy deportation laws. I feel like it's very pro-America to be very against illegal immigrants coming into the country. I feel like they take a lot of jobs, and I feel like their goal is, because they need a lower cost of living, they're used to it. I feel like their goal is to continue to lower and lower wages so they can save more money.
So you made a lot of "I feel" statements there. I think that's probably the issue.
Okay.
You feel like this is the stuff, but the evidence doesn't really back this. So first of all, if the problem is that capitalists or big corporations or whatever aren't willing to pay a livable wage, then why is it always conservatives that are against increasing the minimum wage? I'll get to your other arguments in a second, but I just want to answer that question.
Because I feel like we always talk about increasing wages, but nobody talks about what that does for the real Americans, right? Like, I feel like it's not fair to say, oh yeah, we should increase wages for everybody, but the people who have worked hard in that top 1% bracket, who really work for their money, the only way you're going to really do that is by taxing them more. Like, I feel like, how do you feel? Go ahead. I feel like you want to say something.
No, I mean, it sucks that you're gonna simp for the top 1%. Like, that's
no. I'm not simping for the top 1%, but like, you don't think that. So you believe that we should tax the rich more?
Yeah. I think they should be taxed
like way more, or just like more.
I think the economy was booming in the 1950s, and the top marginal tax rate was 90%. So yeah, I think they should be taxed way more. I think here's my philosophy, kind of in life. Okay. Whenever you can do something that will only have either a neutral or positive effect, always do that thing. And whenever you can do something that can only have a neutral or negative effect, you never do that thing. In the case of taxing the top 1%, when you tax a billionaire more, their life does not change at all. At all. Their life is exactly the same. They can afford exactly the same things. They can live the exact same life that they want. However, millions of other people's lives are improved. So I'm not saying that we should tax them at 100%, but yes, way more than what they are now. At the very least, back to the levels of the 1950s.
But don't you think that would just kind of like enable certain people? Like, don't you think there will be like people who don't deserve to benefit from that tax?
Who are you talking about?
People who just, I just look at it as, I'm split on this, because like people who come into generational wealth, especially through like, pretty horrific means from like their past family members, I understand taxing them, but I feel like people who truly work hard to get their millions and then their multi-millions and then, so on, I feel like it's not fair that I can work hard and put like, all this pain into a business, or, I take a big risk and, I make it, and
then
I have to lose 300,000, 400,000 of, go ahead.
What's happening to you? If you lose 300,000 or $400,000, what's happening to you? If you're a billionaire, your life is the same.
Destroyed by stupid people.
Thank you, Miles. Your life is the same. Like, don't you think? First of all, do you think someone can work for $1 billion? Is it like genuinely?
No, but I do. No, I feel like if you have made $1 billion, there is a major factor of luck that had to be played into
Luck
it.
or exploitation or whatever it might be. But there's no. It's not possible to work hard enough for $1 billion. 1,000 millions? No. Like the hardest jobs in the world don't even come close to $1 billion. So the idea that we're talking about fairness in regards to like someone worked for their $1 billion is, I think it's misplaced, because my question is, how is it fair that a person can have so much money that you can tax them at 90% and they're still living the exact same life, but it would end world hunger, and we just don't do it. Like that to me doesn't seem
that
fair.
is fake. That end world hunger, if you tax a bill, that's not real. That is not real. There's no way. That study is not real at all. That tax and ending world hunger shit. I'm not trying to be like,
You know what? I don't even want to go down the rabbit hole. Let's just say this: tax a billionaire more, their life is the same, but millions of people's lives are better. How is that not the easiest choice possible? That should be the easiest policy decision for anyone that is not a billionaire, right?
Every time we try to do that, it always goes wrong. Socialism always gets abused by corruption. It always does.
Stop.
It always ends in corruption. Socialism's end stage is corruption. There's always some guy who comes in.
Socialism. This is not socialism. This is literally what we had in the 1950s. This was from a Republican. This was Dwight D. Eisenhower. This is not socialism. This is just taxing people appropriately.
Who do you think pushed that change in the 1950s?
Push the change for higher taxes?
No, more of a pro-capitalistic approach.
More of a pro-cap. Just explain what you mean by that.
You just said that in the 1950s, rich people were getting taxed fairly, right? Like in your ideology. Who do you think pushed that change to what now, since you think that they get taxed unfairly? Who do you think pushed
Ronald Reagan and the conservative movement.
Whoa. Why do you think they pushed that? Do you not think they were putting America first?
No.
Or do you think you don't think they were putting America first?
They were. I mean, it's possible. It's possible that maybe some people that advised Reagan actually did believe in trickle down economics at the time. But now that we have 40 years of data, it's very, very clear that anyone that pushes for trickle down economics are just trying to benefit the top 1%. Like it's so insanely clear. 40 years of data.
Well, thank you for debating me. I learned a lot, but my phone is about to die. I'm gonna drop down. Thank you.
No problem. Come back another time, please.
All right. Have a good one.
Okay. I did want to address his other points really badly, because it went from immigrants are taking jobs and making it so that people can't earn a living wage. And I said, okay, so when conservatives vote against increasing the minimum wage, then all of a sudden he doesn't actually care about people earning a livable wage. Now he's talking about and now he's talking about people unfairly making more money. So it kind of seems like it's not the wages that are the problem, it's the immigrants. That's where I was going to go with the conversation, but this one Donald did, hopefully. Go to the next guest.
No, wait, I'm peeing. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Ice Cold.
There. I'm peeing. I'm sorry. I'm peeing. I'm peeing.
Can we get a redo vote?
I'm peeing. I'm so
He
sorry.
just can't stop peeing, guys. I'm sorry. Oh no, but think of the billionaires, every conservative argument ever. Yeah, I mean, for those that don't know, ever since Ronald Reagan, the goal of the Republican Party has been to extract as much wealth from the bottom 90% as possible and transfer it to the top 1% as fast as possible. That's their goal. Everything else is just to win votes, is just to steal, to try to con people. So like their policies about immigration, their policies about LGBTQ, their policies about all that stuff is just to get the slack-jawed yokels to vote in favor of the 1%. Because by numbers, right, 1% of the population should never get what they want by the numbers. So they need to convince like 49% more people. Their chat saying bless. They need to convince 40.9% more people. So how do they do that? They go into humanity's fears. They go into fallacious arguments. They go into logical fallacies like correlation causation. Like, oh, inflation must be a Democrats' problem. And economy's down, must be immigrants. You guys hate immigrants, right? Look at them. They're dangerous. MS-13. Don't get me started on the $215 million that Republicans spent demonizing the trans community in the 2024 election when trans policies were not a part of Kamala Harris's platform at all, where the trans community is like 1% of the population. $215 million. It's Republicans use like fear and hatred to win votes, but the way they govern is just benefiting the top 1%. And you could just look at Donald Trump's first term. So he promised infrastructure bill, he promised repeal and replace Obamacare, blah, 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 blah. He passed one piece of major legislation, 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which 83% of the benefits went to the top 1%. Now we look at this term. Everything is an executive order, except for one policy. They were able to knock one out. Big beautiful bill. Benefits the top 1%. 1% shouldn't get what they want, right? If it hurts the other 99%, no. I know where you're going to go with this. You're going to say that, oh, well, then trans people shouldn't get what they want. But trans people existing doesn't hurt everybody else. Whereas if the top 1% wants to continue to siphon the wealth of the rest of the country, they should probably not get that. Okay, so you heard what I said, and now you understand that your argument was stupid, right? You're like, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say trans people shouldn't get what they want. But the problem is that, like, trans rights, just the existence of trans people, doesn't hurt anyone except, like, awful bigots. Whereas the top 1% constantly lobbying to get their taxes cut and cut social services and social safety nets does hurt the other 99%. If you don't see the difference, it's because you're a transphobe. Okay, go to the next guest.
Hey.
Hi, welcome up.
Hey, Dan, I was just curious, which branch of government coins money?
What do you mean by coins?
Yeah, which is the only branch of government that can coin money?
What do you mean by coins?
Coin money? You don't know what it means to coin money?
No, explain.
Oh my God.
Like mint
Sorry,
money, or do you mean spend money?
It's a preliminary question. I have to ask, bro, but you couldn't answer. I'm sorry, bro.
I don't know what that phrase means. Oh, okay. Yeah, he left. You have to talk to him. I asked him for a clarifying question, and he just crashed out. AAB, I don't understand why you were so unwilling to just. Okay. What does coins money mean? Okay, so you're wrong. What you just said was the legislative branch, but this is mint money, right? Coining money is minting money, right? So then that's not the legislative branch. The Fed mints money. He needed you to know for him to stay. Wait, so he left after being wrong. He used a phrase that you didn't understand. That's why you left. I asked you what it meant, and you left because you knew you didn't know. Yeesh. What's it like being you? That's, yeah, rough. He was going to say something idiotic about fiat currency or the gold reserve. He had a rehearsed response. Yes, I took him off the dialogue tree by asking him a clarifying question. True. The word is mint. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Erica. Okay. All right. Big beautiful oof. That guy owes Hector money. Oh, is that the same guy? Wild. Have you talked about the CIA agent that was outed? Outed as what? Any deviation will overload the smoothies. Bring him back up. He's not going to request back up. He left of his own accord. He can request if he wants. You better coin some money for Hector. His voice started shaking as soon as you asked that. Oh, God. Tulsi Gabbard exposed the CIA agent. Look into it. Tulsi Gabbard, CIA. Okay. Tensions rise between Gabbard and CIA chief after her disclosure of undercover officer's name, insiders say. CIA Director John Ratcliffe previously clashed with the National Intelligence Chief when she overrode CIA objections to declassify a document related to Russian election interference. Thank you, Rome, for the sub. Tulsi is a Russian asset. Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, an undercover CIA agent. Oh, that's bad. Excuse me, Dan. I have some memes for you to save in mod chat when you have a minute. Hold on. Yeah.
Will you shut up, man? Listen, who?
Chat, should we put this for a gift? I didn't realize that Trump was talking over him while Biden says it. We probably should, though, right?
Will you shut up, man? Listen, who?
Which gift should we use that for? Deport MAGA, keep the immigrants. True. I couldn't tell what was said. Played again. It's Biden saying, "Will you shut up, man?" at the debate.
Will you shut up, man? Listen, who?
Wait, is Shrimpy gonna request? Shrimpy, you know the rules. If there's no one in the box and you're a maggot, you gotta request and use your words. Use your big boy words. Thank you, Ice Cold. I can try to find a version with Trump muted. Oh, W's in the chat for Louis. Dan, are you more worried about what JD Vance / Peter Thiel have in store compared to now? Yes and no. So, first of all, I've been working on a video pointing out the connection between Peter Thiel and Jeffrey Epstein, but let's put that aside for now. So JD Vance is obviously going to be more focused on whatever Curtis Yarvin wants, right? Or whatever that ideology is that's pushing us down this path. JD Vance would be more focused on that because he unlike Trump, he wouldn't be constantly distracted by loving himself. However, JD Vance does not have the political pull that Trump does. Not only with the voters, but with Congress. Congress has subjugated themselves so much to Donald Trump. And one might think like, oh, it's because they're in a cult. The reality is, or a more important part is because Trump has a lot of pull in primary elections. Trump can make it so that you lose your next election if you're a rhino. He labels you a rhino, that's it, you're done. JD Vance does not have that pull. So if there's a policy that would be potentially bad for the economy or bad for Republican, like standard Republican ideology, whereas with Trump they'd just be like, yes, daddy, cuck me harder. With JD Vance they would probably push back. So like yes and no. I'm on the fence. Perhaps it's time you look at the faults of the Democratic Party and stop blaming those who disagree. You know what? I would agree with you. But history shows that that's actually not the answer. Because when the Republicans got their backs blown out by 7 million votes, they didn't look at the faults of the Republican Party. A majority of the Republican Party still thinks that Joe Biden stole the 2020 election. They didn't change at all. Donald Trump never conceded, right? He attempted a coup. And rather than them nominating someone who is for the Constitution, for the rule of law, they doubled down. So why would Democrats then say, okay, let's be less empathetic, right? Let's Let's care less about middle class Americans. Let's be more racist and awful. When we could just look at the playbook by Republicans, just double down and then win the next election. Easy. I know you guys want that. You want the Democratic Party that is more aligned with your horrible views, but we're not going to do that. The reality is, every single incumbent candidate or incumbent party either lost their election or lost seats in the 2024 election cycle because of humanity's inability to comprehend the causation correlation fallacy. They saw global inflation and assumed it was the incumbent party. It's possible that any candidate, Biden, Harris, any Democratic candidate would have lost that election because of the after effects of COVID. So I am not going to then look into the Democratic Party and say, okay, yeah, all right, we should do the concentration camps. They really like those. Let's demonize trans people. They really hate trans people. What else? Ooh, let's cut taxes on rich people and increase the deficit, like, for no reason. Yeah. Why would we do that? Now, if you want to talk about the actual mistakes of the Democratic Party, we really should have dumbed down our platform. We really should have stuck with, like, Kamala Harris had an 82-page economic platform, 4 separate policies to cover the cost of housing. Donald Trump had tumbleweeds. Like, it literally, his platform had bullet points that end inflation. We should have did that. It would have been so much easier. Like, we wanted to use our brains and shit. That was a mistake. Honestly, well, maybe Kamala would have done better if she just said, like, old bad, right? Biden bad, old. Trump, old bad. Kamala. I feel like that might have worked on some of the independents that voted for Trump. We grossly overestimated the general intelligence of the country. Yeah. And part of the reason for that is that we really did not recognize just how badly social media has pushed disinformation and anti-intellectualism over the past 20 years. It really, really has gotten rough. To the point where, like, I don't know if I feel comfortable driving knowing that there's people out there that can see a red light and be like, that's probably green. I believe it's green. I feel like it's green. Don't align with that party. Can't straighten in the first year. Not like a full sentence. We're in idiocracy. Yeah. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We've been live. Oof, we haven't broke the 3-hour mark. What are your thoughts on Doug Burgum? He's a Republican, right? The Republican. He's in Trump's cabinet. He ran for the Republican primary. Is that what we're talking about? HubSpot's helping me to dumb down my emails down to 4th grade level. All right, well, here's what we're going to do. Shout out MX Julius, Matt, and Ryan. Thank you all so much for being the top 3 tapper. 45,000 taps? 1,000? Right? Appreciate you 3. I am going to reset it so other people have a chance. Set that real quick. Some smells fishy. I demand a recount. Rep, do something. All right, go on to our next guest. Hi, welcome
What's
up.
up?
Wait, how old are you?
Sorry if I sound underage. I'm 13.
Did they say sorry if I sound underage? I'm 13? Well, I appreciate you, but you have to be 18 or older to join a TikTok live. It's TikTok terms of service. Sorry if I sound underage. I am. That's like when a conservative says, like, not to be racist, but, and then they say something racist. Like, sorry if I sound underage, but Okay. I'm going to bring up the Money Out of Politics movement as I take a quick restroom break. Maybe the kids aren't completely cooked. At least they apologized. Yeah, that's true. You know who else apologized a lot?
Oh, no, wait, I'm peeing, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're good. It's all good, I'm peeing. They're there, I'm peeing. I'm sorry, I'm peeing. I'm peeing. I can't stop peeing. I'm so sorry, I'm wetting myself. You're good.
Okay. Thank you, Ice Cold. All right. I'm going to bring up Falcon from the Money Out of Politics movement. And I'm going to take a quick restroom break.
Hello. It's still me. I switched accounts. If you can hear the printer in the background, I'm sorry. I'm actively printing flyers right now. But for those of you guys who do not know me, I am Falcon Reeds, and you heard me arguing with that weirdo earlier. But I am also a volunteer for the Money Out of Politics movement. For decades, billionaires, lobbyists, and special interests have used their wealth to rig the system, drowning out the voices of everyday Americans. They buy influence, fund campaigns, and write laws that serve their profits, while the rest of us are left behind, and that ends now. The Money Out of Politics movement is a veteran-led, nonpartisan grassroots coalition fighting to remove corporate money from American politics and restore a government that serves the people. We are not politicians. We are veterans, activists, and everyday Americans who refuse to accept corruption as the norm. Whether you're a seasoned activist or stepping into this role for the first time, you belong here. We have several initiatives. We are participating in the Labor Day rallies tomorrow or today. Today is Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to all of my laborers in the chat. We are participating across the country in the Labor Day rallies. We are also going to be participating in the Smash the Billionaires and Tax the Billionaires rally that's happening at the UN Climate Summit on September 20th. And that is going to be based out of New York City, and then that is actually a global protest. So we will have protests that day across the United States with the 350 Coalition, and we're going to have protests as far away as Delhi in India. Super excited to have the DESI Coalition joining us for the Tax the Billionaires protest on September 20th. If you want to learn more about that, check out Women's March in the United States. They are the sort of headlining group that's leading that effort here in the US. And if you are outside of the US, you can check out 350.org. They are the coalition, the Global Environmental Rights Coalition, that is leading this effort on September 20th. And like I said, the flagship protests will be happening in New York on September 20th, and it will happen during the UN Global Climate Summit. So if you can get to New York for the protest, that would be amazing. If you're able to follow the Money Out of Politics account, I would really appreciate it, and interact with our post here on TikTok so that more people can see the hard work that we're doing and the PSAs that we put out. We have a candidate integrity pledge, so if you're looking for someone to vote for in the midterms that you feel like represents you and isn't going to sell you out to the billionaire class, we've got pledge candidates listed on our website, and I'm working on getting them posted on our TikTok. We are also about to roll out a city council level initiative where you can download a toolkit and get a initiative passed, a resolution passed in your city council to push your states to participate in the amendment. As far as the amendment goes, that is House Resolution 54. Again, that's House Resolution 54, and we currently have 60 co-sponsors, and our primary co-sponsor is Jayapal. So we have lots going on. You can check out our website, moneyoutapolitics.org. We have a very lovely video from Jayapal that she made for us that's posted on our TikTok if you want to go watch it on our page. But yeah, that's my spiel. Dan is back from the bathroom. Please follow Money Out of Politics. And then I'm going to give him his live back. I haven't done a PSA in a while, and there's a lot of new people. And yes, I have an ink tank printer. So if you are getting pocket constitutions, flyers, pamphlets from any of the organizations in our coalition in recent months or over the next couple of months, it is very likely that something that you are receiving from a canvassing team about a politician or a resolution or a protest is coming from my printer, because my printer, I have an ink tank printer. I have one of the big business size ones, and we have been printing nonstop. I learned how to make pocket constitutions this weekend, and my goal is to get 5,000 of them out on the streets this month. And we are going to continue to ramp up that effort as I get. Honestly, stapling the constitutions is what takes the longest. The printing isn't that hard. So as I get more volunteers to do stapling, we will have more and more pocket constitutions and basic education hitting the streets, because it is very clear that there are a lot of Americans who do not know their basic rights.
All right, Falcon, thank you so much.
So, thank you. You can have your live back.
Appreciate it. Have a great night.
Good night.
Cosplay, thank you so much. All right. I'm going to go to our next guest. Oh, guest ran away from the box. Okay. All right, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Chat, we haven't done it in a while. One contexto for the road. We'll do one contexto. Okay? I think I'm gonna make some scrambled eggs for Mac and I. What I do is I heat up bread, and then I eat it like a scooped up bread. No, Dan, it's after midnight. Mac and food comes first. Do you use seasoned salt in your scrambled egg? No, just regular salt and black pepper. But I do the so Gordon Ramsay has this thing where Dan is going against the will of the people. Well, there's no more guests. Wait, what's the will of the people? What do you guys want? Chat, what can I do for you?
Bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
Cooking stream. But yeah, Gordon Ramsay has this thing where he does like 10 seconds on the heat, 10 seconds off the heat, back and forth. And that has them cook slower, and they come out like a lot fluffier. Then he does the thing where he adds creme fraiche, and I don't really know what creme fraiche is, to be honest. So I don't do any of the rest of this stuff. I use a little bit of olive oil. I don't use butter. A little bit of olive oil. You want an Erica raid? If Erica's still on after the contexto, definitely. I did get something special for tonight to have on the side. I got some queso fresco because it was buy one get one free at Publix, and I think it goes really well with She's Not Live. You have to get the eggs to room temperature. Ooh, I've never done that. So maybe that makes them better. I'm not sure. Well, so like 5 minutes ago, I checked who was live, and I saw Swan, I saw Erica, I saw Manda, and then Parker as the last resort. So if Erica's not on, we could raid Swan. And if Swan's not on, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who's on when we finish the contexto. Creme Fraiche is similar. Erica just ended. Oh, got you. Okay. Mukbang. Just use heavy cream. Yeah, I gotta wash my figure. Gotta fit into my dress for the wedding. Like now I want potatoes and eggs. Oh, was Jaden live? I didn't see that he was live. Maybe I'm not following on my backup. I'm not sure. Carbon is live. Ooh, did Carbon just start his live? Coconut cream. Okay, so I like coconut cream, but in scrambled eggs, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Always do olive oil. Yeah, that's my go-to. Dean's birthday is the 1st. Have you messaged him? Grandpa Dean or Withers Dean? Withers? No, I haven't messaged him. I can. Something tells me. I mean, like I only have access to like messaging him on TikTok, so like he might not even see it. Turning 21. Oh my god, he's so young. He's a baby. I can shoot him a message for sure. I don't know. Listen, I love Dean, but like for me, like Dean and I are like friendly, whereas like you know what? I shouldn't even. I don't know. When we talk about Dean, I don't know why I mean bring up Parker. Like it's like different people, you know. But like I feel like I'm friends with Parker, but I'm friendly with Dean. I don't have any problem with him, but like I don't know if he's gonna even see my happy birthday. That's all I'm saying. How old is Parker? 23. Favorite for the Discord now. All right, we are Contexto. YouTube and Twitch. You guys can join us for Contexto. Release the files down. One of your Unfuck America tour videos is on the Reddit homepage today. One of mine? What? Wait. I need a link. Wait, what is a... I don't even know what a Reddit homepage is. Maybe we might not have scrambled eggs. There's T. Who said that? Yeah. With you, Dean, and Santana. Oh, well, that's not my... Okay, that's not my video. Hey, Erica. Is that like top stories? Subreddit? Okay, hold on. Like Reddit homepage? That's a thing? Oh, is it our popular or is it our... You're in the video too? Oh, Lord. Will of the People tea with Dan. What's happening? Someone just said... Hold on, I'm gonna... Back real quick. This is what I just read, Erica. You were on the side recording? Someone just sent me a link on Discord. I'm not gonna be able to find it. My brain is too smooth. Hold on, y'all. While we wait for that link. I've seen clips of like other streamers reacting to like that like 9-box panel on Dean's Live where like I'm there, but like today. See what's going on. The Reddit homepage just what subs. I really want a Swan raid, to be honest, but the 14-hour live after Contexto is cool too. Will Mr. Jones X make a return? Oh my god. Okay. It's on the popular one. Okay, so like the popular tab. I don't know how Reddit works, chat. I'm sorry. Popular tab. Okay, so this is the popular tab for me. show you all my popular tab. Looking under popular. Get Alina in this live right now. Oh, sorry. Gotta move this. Okay. My mother-in-law got my wife and I a monogrammed vase for our anniversary. Ass. Nice. Okay. Told a kid off for leaving bags of trash around my apartment complex. This was clean up after yourself, Arrow. They labeled Arrow with the word arrow? What the fuck? What? I don't... Dan, you need more tabs open? Okay. Something is very wrong. Ex-Trump insider flags alarming news about president's health. Sorry, this poster was removed. Okay. Polish millionaire who famously went viral at the U.S. Open for grabbing Majerzak's hat, which the player intended to give to some kid, spoke up about the matter. I don't care about this. Anyone have the link yet? It's in live chat. Cringe TikToks. Oh wait, this one? I thought you meant like an Unfuck America tour panel with all the like the Z stuff. Oh, okay.
Held hostage under the Democratic rule. That is horrible, horrible, horrible. We've had more taxes. We paid more for everything.
Wait, you think that taxes?
That's me.
You think that taxes have been like really high in the last 4 years, right?
It's not just that. We paid for everything. We, the middle
That's
income
Santana.
America, was paying for the Democratic.
That's JD Vance.
all this-
I just want to clarify. You didn't like Biden and Harris's tax code.
I did not.
Would you ever vote for it again?
No.
Under any circumstances?
No.
It was Trump's tax code.
No, it was Obama's. It was Obama's.
In 2017, Donald Trump passed the tax code.
Oh wait, Erica's on the live. Hi, Erica.
Yeah, like I was just coming to tell you to focus. Like focus.
I was waiting for the link.
So Matt can eat,
Uh-huh.
and then also so that you can send over 300 people to Swan.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, so like go.
Well, but someone in chat mentioned the Reddit front page. I wanted to see what they were talking about.
And then they were like, "Oh no, we're about to get a 14-hour live." Someone said, "Invite the blue-haired lady."
I'm not. Does she still go live? Listen to Black
Like,
Women Dan.
no.
Oh,
I don't know. Fuck if I know.
I can't even.
Obama.
Rare Erica L. The Dan cult yearns for the 24-hour live.
You know what's so crazy is that I literally was thinking in my brain, I was like, you know what's gonna happen is that the Danimals are gonna be upset with me. But Danimals, I love you guys. I love you. I love you.
The thing is that Danimals generally are like a reflection of Dan, and Dan is a huge chismos. That's I just, and they love it. They love the tea. They make America Dan. We want live until it happens. We want live until it happens. That was I actually was planning that.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I peed.
I'm peeing. I can't stop peeing.
Exactly, Malik. I am very pro Mac, and Mac is hungry. And I feel her pain because I'm hungry too, and I'm trying to figure out what to eat. So
Thank you, Whitney, for the manifesting. Thank you, Izzy, for the roses. Mac and eggs, Dan. Mac and eggs. Okay, well, fortunately, it looks like it's not further drama. I thought it was reopening the drama. So
God, no, let it die.
we're gonna wrap up the video. We'll play one contexto, one singular contexto, and then we'll raid Swan. How long? Do you know how long Highlight Swan's gonna stay on?
I can go find out though.
Okay, yeah. Because if she's gonna keep going, then yeah, for sure. But if not, then I think somebody said Carbon just went live. But if she's gonna be on, for sure. Irish is watching Dan.
All right, I got you.
Why is Irish watching
message you.
Dan? Who's yelling in the background? That's Mac. Mercedes raid. Okay.
No, they
Am I getting?
They probably heard. Unfuck America and was like, T, and then it came over.
The Dan derangement syndrome.
Yes. Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
All right, let me go find out how long Swan's gonna be up, and I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you, Erica.
All right, bye guys. Feed Mac.
Okay. Did someone say cheese me brother? Someone get Z in here. Irish watches Dan when he needs a new way to stay relevant. Wasn't I thought I heard Irish was doing an expose live today earlier. I don't know about who, but Irish probably has a bot that eggs go good with tea. True. Oh yes. Oh my god. Okay. Who's had like a classic Lebanese breakfast? Okay. Okay. Technically, hold on. Classic Turkish breakfast, but it's the case in a lot of Middle Eastern countries where you have eggs, you have probably multiple kinds of cheese. You have lebne, which is like a yogurt dip. You got olives. You got tea, pita bread, some sliced cucumbers and tomatoes, and then you just pick what you want, and ooh, it's so good. He was in Good Trouble Drive, stirring up drama about the AK influencer drama. Oh my god! Oh my god! Please, please, please! I need anyone to the left of Hitler to focus, please. Pita bread and Greek yogurt as a sneak. That sounds so good, minus the cheese. Eastern food, yeah, Middle Eastern food is hard. I think Z is being paid by Republicans. When I think of Turkey, I think of delicious food. Swan is going to be up for a while. Okay, perfect. All right. So we're going to finish this. We're going to finish this clip. We're going to look at some comments. We're going to play one contexto, and then we're going to rate Swan. It's quick. It's quick.
and Jobs Act, in which was his tax code and set to expire this year, meaning under the entire Biden-Harris administration, we were under Donald Trump's tax code. You just told us that you hated that tax code and you never vote for it again under any circumstances.
I would never vote for a Democratic regime ever.
So it had nothing to do with what they were doing and all to do with the fact that they're Democrats. Party over country every single day you're a member of a cult.
Ooh. Oh, they ruined it with a boom bloop. You got to cut that part out before you post it. Just another example of someone who has no idea what they're talking about. Just sheer stupidity and blind ignorance. But she's using strong language in a stern tone of voice. Talk good, why no one believe? Must be deep state operative. I wonder if this lady will be angry or relieved when her right to speak or vote is removed. She'll act like she loves it. Conservatives will eat a shit sandwich if they think they'll have a chance to smell a lib, to make a lib smell their breath. Oh, that's so good. Wait, we're stealing this. Dan Pre-Mac. We're stealing this one. Conservatives will eat a shit sandwich if they think they'll have a chance to make a liberal smell their breath. That's a good one. Reddit time with Dan. Should we end every live from now on with Reddit time with Dan? Now I'm just rage baiting Mac. Nothing about them is about making a better country for themselves or others. For people this selfish and deluded, it's only about winning, even if that winning means taking astronomical huge L's week after week after week. Yes, this is correct. Anyone that is not making over $460,000 a year is only voting to hurt those that they don't like. That's it. They're not voting to benefit themselves. No, let's end with 4chan time with Reddit. No, we are not. I've actually, I am proud to say I've never been on that website. I've always seen screenshots, but I've never been on that website. Also, I never saw Two Girls, One Cup. Yep, whenever someone says that your king did something bad, just blame Obama. I will never vote for a democratic regime. She fucking said it. Big flex. I thought so. Facebook boomer talk with Dan. 2 MAGA, 1 felon. Dan, that's literally my proudest. Let's say my proudest died. Oh, flex. Wait until they realize where all those terrorists are coming from. I get incredibly stupid. Okay, cool. All right. So this is not what I thought it was. Fortunately. Well, fortunately for Mac and unfortunately for the Chismosos, this is not this doesn't reignite the drama. Dude, hangry. Yes. Okay. I did promise 1 game of Contexto. Then we're gonna raid Swan, and then I'm feeding Mac. Okay. Here we go. Contexto.
At Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds Dan going to church.
Okay, but as a favor to Mac,
At HIDE, we want to know about the drama.
we're bringing back Angelo instead of Angela.
Taser.
Okay. So, really quick. Wait.
Reddit hates Alina. It's
Reddit knows about Alina? Okay. For those that don't know how to play Contexto, we're trying to find the secret word. Oh, wait. I have to do Contexto Unlimited. Made this mistake before. Contexto. Otherwise, people will know what day it is and they can cheat. This one. Previous games, random. All right. We're trying to find the secret word. And so the goal, of course, Dan is centering male voices. Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, so the goal is to find the secret word. All right. And when we guess a word, an AI determines how close that word is in relation to the word we're looking for. As we keep guessing, we get closer and closer, and then we try to find the secret word. Before we start, I can't remember if I thanked you guys, but Whitney, thank you for the manifesting. Izzy, thank you for the roses. Before we start, I'm not going to be live tomorrow, and we are past midnight on the East Coast. So if any of you want to send over a heart me, that would be awesome. It's yes, we will do. The heart me's are good for they're good allegedly. They're good for protecting the live from like reports. They're good for the algorithm, and they cost $0.015 a day. So yeah, if anyone wants to send one of those, did you try saying thank you? Okay, now let's play Contexto. Thank you everybody for the heart me's. All right, we need our starting word.
Taser.
Taser is the
Family.
starting word? Okay.
Reddit time with Dan should be a things. Lizard. Heart. Lizard. Lizard. Forklift. Balin. Why do you hate me, Mock? For sure it's lizard. Prison. Eggs. Balloon. Big. Dog. A Tanner, so the ones that Israel is unhaving with your support?
Wait,
Lizard.
what?
Beautiful. Felon. Bill. Eggs. Water.
Anyone else know how to spell beautiful from
Food.
Liar Liar?
Lizard. Wheel. War. Party.
We're still very
Party.
far, chat.
Hair. H2O. Yes. Decorations. Water. Airport. Consumer. Lizard. Red.
Wait, Tic Tac, use that for the
Chair.
YouTube thumbnail.
Luggage. Ba-U-T.
That's good. Who said water? Okay.
A-Y-E-E.
There's 26 words closer than water.
Beautiful. Lava. River. Ocean. Baseball stuff. Liquid. Thirsty. Lake. Drink.
Ooh, liquid
I
is
said
closer.
first.
Okay. Oh, what about other
Fish.
states of matter? Okay, no. Liquid. All right, stick
Raft.
with liquid. Juice,
So, what's your thoughts on Trump's current state?
soda,
QQWLDKFO. Lizard.
milk,
Hydrate. Milk.
drink,
Gas. Fluid. Milk.
fluid.
Ice. Ice. Tea.
Whoa, we have some maggots in the chat.
Ice.
Kidding.
H2O.
Rain.
Rain. Juice. C. Volume. Steam.
Volume.
Hydration.
Vapor.
High. Oxygen. Puddle. Calcium. LMAO. Moist. Literally. Hurricane.
Condensation.
Steam. Cloud. Rain. Hydrogen. Water. Gas. Ocean. Solid. Dew. OMG liter. Dew. Tornado. H2O. Boil.
Why was solid so much farther back?
Glacier.
Who got gas
Cloud.
first?
H2O.
Who's got gas?
Pool. LMAO. Onar the condensation Clio. Called it. What are we playing?
We're playing Contexto. We were playing
I have
Contexto. We're
gas.
only playing one game.
Lizard.
Uh,
Tanner, what were Jesus never existed Christ
okay,
exact words about
so
it be?
oh, that's
One
why
word.
it's look at what
This is
look
an
at the
Angela.
kind of gas it is.
I was about to guess gas when I first
Fuel
seen an NGL.
emission.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, that's why. Fuel emission, combustion, methane, dioxide, propane. Okay, I see what's going on here. That makes sense. One more game. No. Mac needs to eat. I'm gonna scramble some eggs for her. And all right, y'all. We are gonna be rating Swan. Oh yes, top likers and Malik. Wait, what? Oh, W Malik. Okay. Shout out Shayla, Ryan, and Steven. Thank you so much for being the top 3 likers. And none of you cheated like last time, allegedly. Thank you so much. Okay.
All right, listen.
Go on. Wait, did Swan change her at Mayo Slayer? Hold on. Okay.
Now I'm
Hold on. Calm down.
no, because he said I can't giggle. Now I'm
Did he
getting
say that? Did he say you can't giggle? Calm down. The point that I'm trying to make is that you giggled, right, as somebody saying the N-word, and now you're getting a reaction. That's it.
you never giggled.
Not at people being racist.
All right, man. Let's.
Text show with. Not reading those. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. From the people who gifted, to the people who subbed, to the people who just sent a heart me, to the people who just tapped, to the people who were just listening while folding laundry, every single one of you are the reason why these lives can continue. Thank you all so much. And I will see y'all in Swan's Live. Bye, everybody. Have a great night. Hold on, I never ended YouTube and Twitch's lives. Okay, YouTube and Twitch. Love y'all. Have a great night.